All right, ladies and gentlemen, everybody who's locked in on Twitter, IG, and YouTube, got a special lineup today, special guest, and the special guest is in the background. You may know him as Coach Gotell, formerly of Sandy Creek. Now the brother's back home. So you're going to hear from him first what went into that decision and why he's glad to be back at the G. Coach Gotell, man.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. How are you, man? I see you got the G on your chest already, man. Somebody proud. I like that.
Yeah, I had to get some gear out. You know how it go.
I'm already knowing, man. So just walk us through, introduce yourself to the people who don't already know you. They've been living on the rock because you're a two-time champ, but go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Actually, I'm a three-time champ, man.
Three-time champ, excuse me.
Yeah, so yeah, I won two in track, one in football. Looking to bring another one home this semester. Track again. So that's something I'm looking forward to. But I'm a Coach Gotell. I'm actually from Barnesville, Georgia, Lamar County. I graduated Lamar County High School. Been coaching about 8 years, man, and my journey's taken me from coaching at my alma mater to I was actually at Griffin in 2020 under Coach Reed.
Mm.
Um, and I left there after a year. Went to Lovejoy, worked with Coach Wilder and Coach Carson over there with the Lovejoy Wildcats for 2 years, coaching offense that whole time. And then the last 3 years, I've been a Sandy Creek Patriot, man. It was a very good, very nice journey, man. From being a first round exit in year one to getting upset again in year two, finishing it out with a state championship in year three, man. It was everything you could ask for. Great organization with great people.
Now, so what I'm hearing, it's been a full circle moment, a full journey, just highs and lows, and you know what I mean. Having three rings now is very special. But before we kind of dive into that part of your story, man, we just want to get into, you know what I'm saying, your origin story, man. Talk about Barnesville, Georgia. Let's start there, man. Love of the game, love of football. How do you, you know what I mean, one day aspire to be a coach?
Yeah, man. So to make a long story short, I played for Coach Franklin Stevens, legendary high school football head coach in Georgia, multiple time state champion back with Tucker. He's actually at Baig County right now. Um, and I only played for him for 1 year, but that 1 year turned my central focus in sports from basketball to football, like full time. All right, and then in that 1 year playing defense, I made the all region team. Went to go play small time college football, and the rest is history, man. I played 4 years of college football. Started coaching in 2018. Went back to my hometown and just got it rolling, man. I've coached a lot of stuff from being a running backs coach in the wing tee to the wide receiver coach in the air raid to coaching the DBs, helping out with linebackers, all type of stuff, man. I've been all over the field, and I'm thankful to Coach Goodrum for giving me a chance to kind of start my journey as a defensive coordinator.
Absolutely. To be a coach, you got to lead young men, right?
For
So
sure.
in today's landscape of, you know what I mean, of the information age phone, but just how is it, you know what I mean, from your perspective, you know what I mean, is leading today's young men and athletes?
Yeah, man. Like at the end of the day, man, kids, regardless of like what the narrative is about them in this generation, kids still want to be coached. They
Mm-hmm.
want you to put the time and effort in to try to develop them to be the best versions of themselves that they can actually be. Whether that being spending more time in preparation or like just taking the time invested interest in learning about the young man as a person and not just as a football player. All that stuff pays huge dividends not only for you but for them as well in the long run. So I believe if you kind of approach coaching like with the same thing that you would approach in the classroom, learning the kids, figuring out what type of people they are, and then developing them in the areas that they need it, they all pretty much appreciate it, man. All of them.
So how have you grown? You know, I know you learn from any age group. What have you learned from the young man you've coached?
To be patient, that was something I kind of struggled with early on in my career. I'm still working through that now, but just being patient with young men and allowing them to be human, allowing them to be whole and fully themselves, and really just whenever you're telling them something or whenever you're coaching them with a coaching point, make sure it applies to their life, all right? Because I mean, like you said, we live in the information era and we live in this era of social media where our attention spans are really low. So if it doesn't impact me right now, the thing's kind of going in one ear and not the other. So you just got to make it relevant, make it connect to them, and then use those things to your advantage as a coach so that you can leverage every opportunity that you can to teach.
Facts. And they ain't watching ball, some of them. But you know what I mean? We'll speed fast. When we get to where everybody came in for, you got some fire signs in the chat from Griffin. Football on IG, man. They ready to hear you story, man. So coach, the floor is yours, man. Just tell us a story. I mean, you and Coach Goodham kind of linking up and he brought you in, man. DC.
Yeah, man. So, as you all know, I was at Sandy Creek this past year for the 15-0 team.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere around like the playoff time, I got a phone call from Coach Goodrum, man, talking about coming back to Griffin. He told me to focus on the playoff run as it pertained to it, but at the end of the playoff run, to give him a call and see if we can get the ball rolling, man. So we talked through the negotiation process and all that stuff. And long story short, man, around the beginning of January when we came back from Christmas break, I was a Griffin Bear. So I'm excited to be back, excited to lead this group of young men or help lead this group of young men, and really to develop this community to back to where it used to be. I know the rallying cry behind Griffin right now is RTG, Return to G. So that's really big for me as well because I grew up like 15, 20 minutes away from here. And from the time I was born until forever, Griffin High School has been Griffin High School. So I would just want to have my opportunity to kind of add to the legacy and add to the things that they've already built here and really just get the kids back to playing hard, playing football, and doing it the Griffin way.
Nah, that's 100%. I talked to Coach Goodham. He said the city there's a different buzz. You know what I mean? When the G is clicking on all cylinders, man. So just how's the community reception been for you? You know what I mean? Just kind of walking back through the hallways.
Oh man, so man, shout out to Griffin High School class of 22, man. So they were my kids when I was there the first time, and I think every single kid that I coached was like commenting on my Instagram post when I posted it. I was coming back to Griffin, saying that they would be back. I went to the basketball game when they played
Mm.
Jonesboro for the region championship, and I saw a lot of the kids from the first time I was there at the game. They showed a lot of love and a lot of appreciation for me. So it just brings everything back full circle. So ready to get started, ready to get rolling, rocking with Griffin High School, man.
Nah, 100%. So have you looked at any film? You know what I mean? Or you kind of still? It's
Oh
hard if
yeah.
you have.
Nah, I have dog. Like if you know anything about me, you know I'm a film junkie dog. So like, and my kids from Sandy Creek, my kids from Lovejoy will tell you that. I've watched every single game that they played, JV and varsity from last year.
Wow.
Just trying to get a feel for what kids can do, and from there, you got to develop your plan of how you're going to install the defense and how you're going to mix and match and move players around to kind of help them maximize their abilities to this fullest display.
100%. I just elaborated on that a little more, Coach. You know what I mean? For people who just now formally meeting you or something, and maybe seen this, me I met you before, just kind of let them know what type of coach you are. Obviously, a film junkie, but just expound on that a little more.
Yeah, man. So I believe in pride and preparation. One thing that kind of like brings me back. We talk about like my journey to this point. I think that I played for a lot of great coaches. I'm gonna list off some names. Head coach Andrico Hines. He was my
Mm,
position. His first job ever was my position coach at Lamar County High School. Coach Jamie Abrams. He was my DC up under Coach Franklin Stevens. Coach Franklin Stevens. We all know about him. He's big time Georgia high school football legend. I also played for Coach Jason Strickland down at Ware County, another state champ. Um, and then when I get into the people that I worked for Kareem Reed, I worked for Darius Smiley, I worked for a lot of people that I kind of like pick and prod like little pieces of each one to kind of meld into my own game. So one of the things that I learned from Coach Stevens and Coach Abrams was like how to watch film. I learned that early when I was in high school. They would sit you down and like get you out of class and have you in there looking in the coach's office at film for hours on end, and that's something that kind of stuck with me. And one of my early influences told me like early on, he was like, "Whatever you do, always be watching tape. Always be watching tape, and like once you learn like how to watch tape and what to look for, those things kind of show up on game day, and if like some things that you could probably see from this past year with Sandy Creek, after about week 4 or 5, I don't think anybody had any games over like 60 yards passing, except for Monroe area, which one of those passes was like a trick play, and then yeah, that was pretty much it. So those kids were able to watch that film. We started having film 3 times a week, and you could see them out there calling stuff out. Like it was, and it's frustrating for the other team when you're able to do that. So giving those kids that preparation, like me doing the work on the front end, allowed them to go out there and play faster. So that's what it's all about for me, getting the kids to play fast and play together.
Absolutely. One quick intermission from questions. You got some comments here on the YouTube, man. Chaz in the comments, Coach Ferdinand Northgate, a legend on the show, Coach Goat, LL7D. Ask him what the hashtag mean. What's that mean, Coach?
All right, man. So Coach Ferd, shout out to him for getting that head coaching job at Northgate. See y'all on September 4th, man. But
Ooh.
long live 7D. That's we were actually roommates in college at Birmingham Southern, man, and our room number was 7D. So me, him, and my 2 other partners, man. That's long live 7D. Our school is actually defunct now. So
Wow.
so yeah, man. But that's what we lived for 2 years. So well, they lived there 3 years. I lived there 2 years. So it is what it is.
Nah, for sure, man. It's somebody in the room numbers. I had 27, I think it was 217, 218 moved right across, so definitely a lot of numbers. Yeah, for sure. We got a couple more here from ATOX 23. Let's see what they said. Great show and fun watch. Coach Gotell will be a great addition to the Griffin Bears, 100%. And through the YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Through the YouTube logo. Yes, sir, brother. If anybody's watching this, if you're on YouTube or IG, go to YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, share this to your people, family, and friends, and definitely follow Coach Gotell on. Where can they follow you at, Coach? We already on the top.
You can find me anywhere at Coach Gotell on X, formerly known as Twitter, and at Coach.Gotell on Instagram, man. That's where I'm at.
100%. So, Coach, I'm saying I've seen a lot of Sandy Creek games. I'm gonna try to describe her defense. You know what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong, but very fast. First and foremost, very fast, very physical. But do you like the blitz a lot? I don't remember seeing a lot of blitz. Y'all kind of got a great 4-man, 3-man front.
The defensive play calling, man. So yeah, man. But yeah, we blitz when we needed to, but you don't really have to do that whenever you can play your base like strongly. I feel like when you over blitz sometimes it kind of like shows the weaknesses in how you've coached your base defense. And when I talk about base defense, I want to talk about your identity. Like, okay, if we get in the jam, my kids got to know, all right, if I don't know what to do, call this, play this. And if they can do that and play it with the fundamentals and the technique that they've been coached to do, then I feel pretty comfortable with letting them go out there and do that. All right. But if we got to continue to try to like manufacture things just to get a stop on first down, that's probably not it's probably not a good thing for me because I haven't taught the defense correctly. All right. But at the same time, you got to hit it on the flip side. Sometimes you got to create a spark for your defense. And I think we did that pretty well. We just weren't kamikaze blitzing every single play playing cover zero behind it because our kids can play football for real.
No, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Granted, y'all have 4 specimens, Steve Hannon from IMG, you know, Evan Harvey, Day2 Austin, who blew up this season, really blew up this season, but really spring, if you ask me.
Nate Holston, Corey Hadley, Chase Usher, Dana Greenhow, Rod Smith Jr. Like, we were some real deal ball players on that defense, man.
Nah, 100%. That's why I see
Dawson.
Yep. Y'all had a squad, man, this year and before that. But since we're on that topic, man, my favorite player that I've seen, definitely Jameer Latimer and Caleb Cost, but all the defenders that you coach, man, who has been, let's do top 3. Let's do top 3.
All the defenders that I've coached? Or
just at Sandy Creek.
Oh, at Sandy Creek. You mean like guys that just play defense or just total players overall?
You can do both. Whichever one you prefer.
Okay. All right. So is this in any particular order?
Nah, we will put that type of pressure.
All right. My favorite 3 guys from Sandy Creek. I'm gonna get a lot of slack for this. But all right, I'm gonna throw some honorable mentions out there. Give me Dylan
They
Thompson. A lot
say,
of folks don't remember Dylan Thompson, man. Number 8 from 2023 season, class of 2024.
mm,
Big time player. Played safety, played outside linebacker, played a little bit
mm-hmm.
of corner for us. Give me overall defenders. Good grief. JT Austin. Give me JT Austin. Give me Chase Usher, give me Rod Smith, give me Dana Greenhow, give me the same. I can't hold the guys like my secondary because we was one unit, dog. It was one unit moving together. It wasn't like an individual thing. But those guys played hard, man. I appreciate them for everything they did for me and helping me get this job, dog. So like, real talk, I got a lot of appreciation for those kids, man.
Nah, I'm saying, way to wiggle out of it, coach. We'll let you slide today, man.
It's all good, man.
But I like this issue what you just said about how winning players handling their business on the field can help you get a job. You know what I mean? 'Cause if you got bad players, you know me losing. Coach might not be the best, but just talk about that player relationship. How you know what I mean? Success breeds success, and that get you opportunity.
Dog, I don't shy away from that. We're coaches at the end of the day, but the people that make stuff happen on the field are the guys with the helmets and the shoulder pads on. And like my days of playing, like we all wish we could play that one more down, but them days are long gone. So all I can do is prepare my kids the way that I need to prepare them and allow them to go out there and play fast and play physical and get the job done every Friday night. And everybody benefits like when everybody's working together for that common goal. And you can kind of see that with that team that we just had. Like I think every single kid from this secondary from this past season has either the Division 1 offers or signed Division 1. So that's I think 7 kids out of that secondary that kind of fit that mold. And we didn't never like led the state in picks or led the state in pass breakups or anything like that. But they played together and they were able to shut out really productive pass offenses by playing together, playing as one, and doing what they needed to do on the field on Friday night. And for me as a coach, all I can do is just help them get to that point, and we'll see the results when they get there, and kind of let that take care of itself.
100%. Then we got one more, Slick Rick. This might be my guy, Coach Boozer.
Coach Boozer, that's my boy right there, man. Yes, sir. Real deal ball coach, man. That's another real deal ball coach on that side. So I'm proud of him. Proud of that guy, man. Proud of everything that he's doing. Appreciate him for the past season and really looking forward to where he grows as a coach and where he develops and like where he ends up. Cause that guy has a lot of great potential and he does a great job with those kids, man. So and he cares about the kids. So and that's all you can really ask for.
100%. Appreciate you tuning in, Coach Boozer, man. We gotta get you on the show soon, brother. I've been talking about we gotta get you on the show, brother. But just talk about on the sidelines, man. I actually let's flash you back to state championship. I was going, you know what I'm saying? I gotta throw that in there, man. State championship, Center Park Stadium Field. Whenever we was 3rd and down, 4th and 1.
Hey. I wasn't there in 2022. I was not there. I was at Lovejoy. But I came in there next year. So like Caleb and all those kids, they had graduated when I first got to SC, man. So like I was coming in with a brand new group. Like Chase was a sophomore, Dana was a sophomore. I had DeMarco Hayes, I had Dylan Thompson. Like all those kids had really not had a whole bunch of experience. And rightfully so, they were playing behind like some of the best DBs that ever come through that school. And yeah, man. So like we were coming into that thing fresh, looking to get those guys some experience. And like that first year, my goal for those guys was just to get them to play hard and play for each other every night. You might have your bust, you might have your busted coverages or whatever, but at the end of the day, if y'all were playing hard and playing together, that's all I can really ask of you to do at that point in their development. Now, as the years had progressed and went on, I started expecting more and more out of them, and I think this past season, those guys were kind of like the backbone of the defense and the backbone of the team. Because those guys, along with guys like Amari Latimer, Ryan Moore, Caleb Hill, those guys have been playing for a while. So we had a lot of leaders on that team, and that's something that when you're in a position like you got a lot of talent, it's one thing to have a lot of talent. It's another thing to have talent with leadership, and I think that kind of like sparked the rest of the team to kind of follow along with those guys.
Got a lot of talent at Griffin. I mean, a lot of talent in
Yes, sir.
secondary and linebacker core. You think so? Will we see the same Same type of system kind of transfer over, or what type of differences will we see in the Griffin defense?
It'll be some things that carry over, but every team and every defense has a mind and a identity of its own. So me and Coach Goodrum been working together like really hard these last few weeks to kind of like put together a system that kind of blend some of the stuff that I was doing at SC with some of the stuff that they were doing at Griffin. And I think we've done a good job of putting that plan together. I'm just ready and excited to see how it shakes out at spring ball and shakes out in the fall. So, just yeah, but they're gonna play hard and they're gonna play fast. At the end of the day, that's what I need.
Absolutely. Have there been any talks about just 7-on-7, patty camps, or is it still on ice for right now?
Yeah, I mean, we're still negotiating some stuff, but you'll definitely see us at UGA, definitely see us at Georgia Tech over the summer. We'll be throwing with some guys on some like small individual type OTA deals, but yeah, we're still negotiating some stuff. We got a paddock camp. We got some guys coming in, but still negotiating some more people coming into the paddock camp at Griffin. So be excited be looking out for that in the summertime. But yeah, man, I'm just excited to get rolling out.
100%. What's been the move like for you? Like we talked to Coach Chaz last week. You said, "Man, I'm still making that long drive." Are you making that? How's your commute been to the school so far?
To Griffin,
Yes, sir.
man,
You live close?
I live like 8 minutes from the school, bro. Like for
Oh,
real.
man, chilling.
I was making a commute to Sandy Creek and making a commute to Lovejoy. I'm like I live in the area.
It was easy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. What's been the what are you most looking forward to when you come when spring starts? I mean, we all kind of getting that football schedule.
So the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is I'm really like having high expectations for myself, like learning how to call the defense. Like it's one thing organizing the defense and like putting together like your secondary plans or like adding the coverage here and working together in tandem. But to be the guy that's like, all right, I'm signaling the plays out, I'm calling the plays out. That's gonna be different for me. But I'm ready and excited for the challenge, man. Like I'm not gonna back down from anything, and like I'll let you know from day one. Like it's gonna be hard nosed. It's gonna be physical, and those guys gonna have to come hit each other every day, and iron sharpens iron. So just again having that pride and preparation to like have a plan together, and a lot of guys don't have that when they come in. A lot of guys aren't afforded the opportunity to like meet with the head coach like every week leading up to their first coordinator job. And I think I just want to thank Coach Goodrum for that. And that's been really vital in my development going into my first coordinator job. So yeah, man, I'm ready to get it rolling.
Do you think your process will change any bit in any of this? No.
It'll have to because being a position coach, you're kind of like locked in and zeroed in on your group. But now calling the whole defense, you kind of have to like take a step back and allow other coaches to do their job as well and allow other coaches to develop. Um, and still you may see some more additions to the staff, you may not, but just as of right now, man, I just want to like give my guys the autonomy to
Mm.
flourish within the like not constraints but within the system.
So you kind of your system is more of a react, read and react type of system. Is that a fair assessment?
It's whatever get the job done, man. So
So you multiple, you versatile.
yeah, like we do it all, man. So yeah.
What's going on
You,
now?
you'll see some three. You'll see some three down. See some four down. You'll see some three high. You'll see what you need to see. But just know that that game plan is gonna be thorough. It's gonna be thought out, and it's gonna be developed. And I'm gonna put the work in. The coaching staff gonna put the work in, and the kids definitely gonna put the work in. So be looking forward to Griffin High football.
100%. Let me ask you one more question. Now I'll throw it to Naj, man. What's some personal goals that you have set for yourself just going into this offseason? I'm not yet going into this offseason.
Personal goals.
Yes.
Really for myself is number one, learn how to call it. Number two, reestablish my stance at this school because, like I said, I've been here before. but a lot of these kids weren't here the first time that I was here. Like I may have coached their older brothers or older cousins or something like that,
Mhm.
but like developing my own relationships with this particular set of kids is gonna be way more important for me than like X's and O's like right now. Well, we'll get to that of course, but my biggest thing right now is like, do you like if you say you care about the kids, like develop relationships with all of them, learn them by name, pull up the things that don't pertain to football. Like if they have other interests in other things, like show up, like be there, be a part of their lives, and allow and like make an impact on them as a person before you make an impact as a football coach.
Well said.
Great. Coach, appreciate you coming on, man. Sorry, man. I'm all the way over at East Point, man, trying to get through traffic, man. It's ridiculous. But
It's all good, man. Appreciate y'all for having me.
yes, sir, Coach. So I heard a little bit about the story you were saying. I want to revisit a point you talked about Franklin Stevens. What were some big? I know you're talking about the lessons you learned and the impact he had, legendary coach now at Burke County. But what was maybe one or two things that stood out that he taught you that allowed you kind of to flourish into the young man that you are?
Never say my bad. We kind of know it's your bad. So your job whenever you mess up is not to like do it with words, but do it with actions. And and that's something that like stuck with me. I remember my first his like the first day of summer camp in 2012. I had gave the team like 50 up downs for asking like why we doing this. So like being able to like go back and remember those lessons that I learned, like and stuff that people probably don't think you remember. Like I remember all that stuff, and just how detail oriented he was. Like all of his breakdowns had videos in them, like back in 2012. So like, so being able to like, all right, if you didn't know what this offense was, I could hit play on this PowerPoint and you'll know it. I don't have to say anything. So and being able to command a room, being able to stand on business, like and making decisions for your team and making decisions that your players may not see, but are going to benefit them in the long run.
100%. Now that you talked
Mm.
about the Sandy Creek piece, were you predominantly coaching defense or did you coach offense? How was that? 'Cause I heard you mention Caleb Hill and Mari Latimer and all those guys.
Yeah, but like I mean, yeah, I coach defense, but like we said, having a relationship with all the kids, man. Like Amari played defense too. Like when I came in, Amari was a linebacker. Like he played running back and he became like a legendary running back and all that stuff. But a lot of people don't know that kid started off as a LB. So and that kind of like shows you where that physicality was like, when he was running the football.
100%. And then I know you said the defense gonna be what it is. So are you of the stance of okay, my team or it's not necessarily coaching, it's players over plays. Is
Yeah,
that kind of your stance?
for sure. If you got a bunch of short, undersized linemen, you probably don't want to be in a 5 down front or 4 down front. So, like, regardless of what your system is, your system has to fit the children. Your system has to fit the players. So, you can't go into every situation thinking that you're gonna run the exact same thing that you ran at another place. You may be able to like incorporate a lot of that stuff, but it has to be its own system at every single place that you go.
1,000%. So I know you just got adjusted a little bit to Griffin. So talk about ingratiating yourself a little bit, right? Like you said, being there for the kids, going to the events that they like. So how do you go about, I guess, just resonating even more with it? Like you said, it's a new group. You go back to 2022 when you was kind of there. Obviously, you left for Sandy Creek. Now you're coming back for a new kind of crop of kids. So what's kind of your methods?
My first thing is to introduce myself by name to every single kid that I meet. And learning their names and trying like, all right, not being like, hey bro, what's your name? Like just learning their names. That's the first thing that you can do. And then like just having conversations with them. It's really not complicated. Just going in and having a vested interest in the children that you coach. And it sounds cliche, it sounds simple, but it is. Like it's really not that hard.
100%. So obviously, what is one of the biggest things you've learned being a coach? That's about being kind of a player. What's the biggest thing you learned being a coach?
That the your faith has to bleed out in your coaching. I think that's one thing I learned from Coach Haywood this past year, who's the defensive coordinator at Sandy Creek.
Hmm.
That's one of the best guys I ever coached with in my life, man. And I tell him all the time that um I learned it's like the biggest thing I learned from him had nothing to do with football. It was about letting your faith bleed out in the way that you love the kids, letting your faith bleed out in the way that you coach the kids. Like he started every single defensive huddle with a Bible verse. So those things were big. Yeah, so like that's again another real deal ball coach that y'all probably need to have on this podcast. So
No doubt about it. All right, so I want to go real quick to comments, man. They've been rolling it up. You might know some of these people, Coach. Slick Rick 3 said, "Real deal ball coach, man. Would give you your flowers." Mondez Godfrey said, "Coach Godfrey checking in. My
yes,
coach, coach."
sir. Yes, sir. Coach Godfrey, man. Appreciate
Yes, sir. And then Doug 3652 said, "My God." He said, "You have a hard, fast, and physical defense, Coach."
you. Oh yeah, man. Coach Godfrey, Coach D line at Sandy Creek, man. So like he was part of that that defensive staff too. That's what we preach, man. Hard, fast, and physical, and also togetherness, technique, and toughness. So
Period. And then another we have one of the best coaches.
yeah, them like my second mom right there, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate everybody tuning in. So, Coach, what I think you asked Bacon asked you earlier, some of the best people you've coached against. I guess let's say you deal. Let's give you a scenario. Let's say you're dealing with a kid supremely talented. But Coach, the attitude just not there. He don't really care what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying, Coach? He's like, man, look, I'm him. I'm 4-star, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. You ain't do nothing. Like, what's your approach to that kind of scenario situation?
The first thing you gotta do is you gotta meet him where he is. I know the default reaction to a kid like that is to yell, cuss, jump down his throat, all that good stuff. But one thing that I kind of like pride myself on is like I know how to like regulate my own emotions so that when I'm interacting with a kid, interacting with a player, it doesn't come off as like aggression meeting aggression. Now sometimes like you're gonna get in that fire, it's gonna be what it is. But if I can see that a kid is like lashing out or crashing out, like I just kind of like prided myself on, all right, bro, like let's get to the bottom of this. Like let's have a real man-to-man conversation and find out why you're doing this and find out like what things that we can do or that I can do to kind of help you like not weasel out of it, but help you get through it. And I think that's like our real calling as coaches for real is to help these kids not only just like be great football players, but help them develop in areas of life that have nothing to do with football. A lot of the stuff that my kids will tell you, that any kid that'll tell you that played for me, is that most of the stuff that we talked about ain't got nothing to do with football. It's all about developing as a man, developing as a person. And then at the end of all that, on the back end of that, that's where we develop as football players because you take some of those same things, like emotional regulation, for instance. Um, a guy might like at the end of a play, somebody blow the whistle. Somebody might hit you in your jaw. You can't crash out and hit him back in his jaw because who gets caught? The second person. All right,
Exactly.
and you're gonna cost your team 15 yards just because you have zero control over your emotions. And I like use those moments as teachable moments for those kids who may not have that where they come from or may not have heard that in the way that I'm gonna spin it to them. And yeah, man. So like that's the first thing we're gonna do. We're gonna get to the bottom of it first, and then like if we gotta get on that level, we can get on that level. But it's always gonna be respectful.
Now, let me ask you this, Coach. This is a real personal question, but I feel like something that has to be brought up even more in the Black community. But it's like you just said, regulating your emotions. That's not something we learn. You know what I'm saying? Or we're really taught. You got to kind of learn that on your own. If you read a book, whatever it is. So, how did you go about doing that, Coach? Because sometimes we always ask to this bottle it up, and you know what I'm saying, don't express it. It's been frowned upon. So you being a Black man, I just want to get your perspective of how you've just learned. I know you probably still learning the process, but how have you learned that to be able to kind of do that and exude that for the kids?
Yeah, man. This is very dear to my heart. But yeah, man. So I kind of grew up as that guy too. Like I would be labeled as someone that you would call someone like that's gonna spaz out or crash out on somebody. But um, like losing things that you kind of care about and putting yourself in positions where um it's embarrassing and it kind of like puts you in a position where people look at you different, look at you funny for the way that you react to things. um it kind of gives you a chance to look in the mirror, and that's one thing that I've always been able to do, regardless of like where I was and what stage of development I was in my life. I was always able to look at myself in the mirror and be honest with myself. And I think that's the first level to greatness is, and you can't be great unless you're honest with yourself.
Mm,
And yeah,
mm,
man. And I think that I think that when you are honest with yourself, then you can look and say like, all right, man, I probably shouldn't have. I probably shouldn't have not like ripped my door off the hinges, but just because I was mad at this thing, about this one little certain situation. So I went and actually got some professional help. Going to therapy, talking to a professional, things like that. Like things that again, like we said, are frowned upon in the black community. Taking like court appointed. No, we're not appointed, but like taking the court level anger management classes, like on your own, so that you can like sit there and work through this stuff and like because you can't really be your best self for the kids if you're not your best self for yourself. And I think that developing yourself as a person is the best model that you can give to 15, 16, 17-year-old kids that are looking at you as a model every day, whether you want to be or not.
Mm. All right, I don't mean to get deep again, Coach, but I gotta ask you another really good one. So RIP, but we just seen another, fellow talented star in Rondell Moore, right? Took his own life, gunshot wound, dealing with mental health. So we know the resources are there, Coach. This is what you kind of just alluded to. How can we make it where it's not taboo? I know we just talked about obviously regulating your emotions, but how do we make it where it's not taboo, where we can have those conversations, not only as getting professional help, but even as parents with our kids or just in general, where the kid feels comfortable enough to express that? Because I feel like we struggle a lot with that, especially in our community. Like a lot of stuff we bottle up, we won't say. I know you just addressed it, but how can we go about that? Especially when, like I said, mental health is still kind of like, oh, mental, you're using that as an excuse when it's very serious.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, man, I think, like I said, like going back to the whole being honest with yourself thing, we have to. I don't have all the answers. Like, don't think I'm getting up on here preaching nothing. But like, I don't have all the answers. But at the end of the day, we have to do all that we can to help to try to remove that stigma first of all,
Yes.
because I mean, for lack of a better term, like people kind of operate in that herd mentality. And if everybody's saying that, nah, I ain't going to no therapy, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that, then everybody, like the kids that probably need it, are gonna look at it the same way. Like, if he ain't doing it, I ain't doing it. But the more people that we see going through this thing and taking it day by day, step by step, and really doing the interpersonal work, the more that the stigma is going to be erased. And like I said, I don't know all the answers, and I'm not God or nothing like that. So, um, but at the end of the day, man, I just think that we as the leaders, we as the adults, kind of have to do our job, whatever that job may look like, of trying to remove that stigma and being more vocal about it and being more vocal about our own personal challenges. Because I think one thing that's kind of helped me like coach high school kids is that I've never been afraid to just tell them like this is what it I yeah like yeah I take this and this to kind of like cope with my mental health, like stuff like that, like as an example. Or I talk to my therapist, yada 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 yada, or I talk to a trusted friend or my wife, my like in or my parents or something like that. Like being able to like remove the whole taboo thing that we were talking about. And yeah, man. So like being able to like push that, well, not like indoctrinate the kids with it, but
So
allowing
that
them to like,
vulnerability.
yeah, like show that vulnerability, show like give like let them peek behind the curtain a little bit. But that's what they want to do anyway.
Facts. I appreciate you sharing that, Coach, and giving a candid response.
For
Definitely
sure.
something we need to talk more about, man. We don't do it enough, and think we struggle as a community with that. But on a lighter note, Coach, I think you bring up some good points. But how do what do you want to be remembered for? I guess is my biggest. I know it's a legacy question, but I'm just talking about being the coach. I know eventually, Coach, you're probably going to end up being the head coach because I feel like you have all those qualities. You're a player led coach. What do you ultimately want your mark to be on these kids when they come back 5-10 years from now and they want to see Coach Gotell or they want to be on your coaching staff or whatever it may be? What do you want them to ultimately kind of just gain from your coaching, your leadership?
That all of the stuff that we did was about more than just Friday nights. It was about more than just like being in cover three or being in cover two and watching film and all the stuff that we do to do what we got to do on Friday nights. That it was more about a personal relationship, and it's bigger than ball. Like a lot of people say that, but you may or may not see that acted out in actions. And I want my kids to always remember that, like, you can call me about anything. Like, it ain't got to be about football. It ain't got to be about your career after football. It can be about anything. So, and I truly believe that as long as I can do that and I can make an impact on these kids, like as men and as people, then the football stuff will take care of itself. Because it's like people been playing this game for over 100 years, man, and a lot of this stuff ain't changed. It's like you still got to run, tackle, throw the ball, catch the ball, kick the ball. You still got to do all those little basic fundamental things. But at the end of the day, man, it's all about relationships and how we can impact these people on a level deeper than just sports.
Great. Come on, before I throw it back to Bacon. I want to ask. So I want to throw a couple. I don't want you to throw no coverages, coach, but I'm gonna throw you a couple scenarios your way, and I want to see how you're gonna attack it as a DC. Okay.
Yeah, I ain't giving a playbook out, man.
Yeah, nah. Don't do that, coach. Don't get out your playbook.
Nah.
All right. So let's say you facing a battering ram. You facing a guy that's similar to Amari Latimer. Now you seen this up close and personal. Basically, they go just feed him the rock. You know what I'm saying? 20, 25 times. They might throw a little play action. How would you adjust with a team that's trying to thump you on the run?
It depends. Are we stopping the run? Are they getting more than 3 yards of carry?
They getting like 8-9 yards of carry.
I'm gonna stack the box on you. Like it ain't that complicated. So like we're gonna stack the box, we're gonna play coverage behind it, and we're gonna harp down on fundamentals. All right, somebody got a steal, somebody got a box, somebody got a tackle. At the end of the day, that's what it takes.
Period.
And we just gotta do a better job than the offense does.
Exactly. All right. Let's say this a passing attack. They like to spread you out wide. They run a spread offense, post style QB. All they doing, they just throwing to this one guy. He's 6'4", 6'5". You know what I'm saying? They're like 1-on-1, we going to him. They throwing slants, they throwing hitches, they throwing go balls, they throwing contested balls up. What are you doing to try to stop that?
More so than a receiver, you gotta study the quarterback and the OC. Because I told my Sandy Creek kids, like, don't ever just like when you watching film, you always gotta ask why. Like, why are they sprinting out every play? Why are they using slide protection versus man on man protection? Why like do they run this concept out of this formation 85% of the time? And like again, going back to that pride and preparation thing, if you prepare well enough, then you'll know the strengths and the weaknesses of the receivers. You'll know that this kid at quarterback ain't really a quarterback. He's a baseball player that they put at quarterback because he can throw the ball a little bit. You'll know stuff like that if you actually take the time to go discover it. And just like giving your kids that type of preparation is gonna help them like in the long run of like, all right, if they keep trying to hit me with this, I know that it's coming. And if I know that it's coming, we can make adjustments on the fly. Regardless of what that adjustment is, you kind of like have to have a rhythm and flow of the game to kind of like know what that decision is going to be. But really just like changing that picture up for the quarterback, changing the picture up for the OC so they can't just spam calls over and over again.
Last one, I'm throwing the Bacon. You just talked about the important kind of film study, which was what I wanted to ask you. Tell kids that are watching this today, because a bunch of kids that are in here, why it's important to watch it to get to the next level, and why that can obviously help them when they get on campus early.
It's really important right now. Like it's important in high school. Because film is gonna like we talk about being in the right place at the right time. I can take you back to a play against when we played Mary Persons in week 9 or game 9. One of my guys, Nate Holston, caught a pick 6. Like at the end of the game, it was already like 42-0. That Mary Persons team was averaging about 240 yards passing the game. They had 31 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, less than 50% completions, in a pick 6. All right, because my guys knew everything that they were about to do. And that very important, like we said, studying film. We were watching film 3 times a week. They would come in on Monday morning, they would come in on Tuesday morning, they would come in on Wednesday after school because we had morning practice on Wednesdays. And by the time Wednesday practice came around, them kids knew what time. They knew what time it was. They knew, all right, that when they come out in this formation, they giving that sprint out, and he's trying to get to that first read really quick. So let's take the first read away. All right, and those little things are gonna help you. Like if you really love football like that, if you really like want to be an elite football player, why would you not be watching film? Why would you not be trying to put yourself in a position to dominate on the field on Friday nights? Why would you not put yourself in a position to maximize your ability to make plays? And that's what film does. It maximizes your ability to put yourself in between the ball and the man. That's all it is.
Great.
This, ladies and gentlemen, that series is about changing the narrative. I think that's what we need to do as a whole moving forward, just with anything. But coach, as we let you go, man, we talked about football, I mean, a lot. But what does Coach Gotell do to just kind of decompress and put football to the side and kind of just be I want to say the first name, but I don't remember what it is. But how do you be them saying Gotell for lack of better lack of my education?
I just spend time with my kids and my family, man. Like for real, I'm not a real complicated person. I like to spend quality time with my people, my wife, my children, my parents, like the people, like my friends, like my the people that like matter the most to you, like because you only get one life.
Mm.
And as we keep seeing more and more, like life really is short, bro. Like, and you may think you have all the time in the world, but your people gonna be your people regardless, and you gotta see them and give them their flowers while they here. So
Mm.
I spend a lot of time like with my folks and with my people and with my kids, man. So that's how I decompress. That's how like we might sit around watch a movie. We might sit on the back porch if it's hot outside, throw some on the grill. Like, I'm a country boy, man. Like I don't really do a whole lot of the extra stuff. So I'm pretty laid back.
Hunter or fisherman?
Neither for real, man. I just kind of grew up in the. I'm not really good at that type of stuff. Like I used to like go outside and try to do it, but at the end of the day, I grew up in the country, so it is what it is. But really, just like I said, spending time with my folks, bro. Like I can try to fish a little bit though.
Nah, come on now. You eat, coach. Say if you want a minute, you might talk to you. Nah, coach. Man, we appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming on the show. Oh yeah, go ahead and flash the comments now. I know we probably got a couple
That
more.
my wife right there, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate it, babe.
It's a good man right there. I see. You know, he was throwing up his left hand. You know, what I mean, inconspicuous. I was seeing the thing. You know, good
Oh yeah,
man.
for sure, man, for sure.
Because we appreciate you coming on the show, man. We'll definitely see you very soon for the spring ball, man. So we'll look forward to seeing your success, man. Again, thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, appreciate y'all, man. Have a good one.
Appreciate you, coach.
So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's Coach Gotell, man. Man, little step. It's great, man. You know what I mean? Been seeing him do his thing. Been seeing him do his thing at Sandy for some time, man. But what's your thoughts about Coach Gotell?
Coach, appreciate you tuning in, man. That's love, Coach. Coach Water. That's the head coach for Lovejoy, man. Appreciate you tuning in, Coach. Means a lot, brother. But yeah, definitely goated. Nah, man. It's not like I said. I think another one of those black men that real cerebral, like I said, and is trying to make a difference, not necessarily on the field, but also off the field. And I think it's important. I think we had a good conversation tonight about that, and obviously, going through the tea leaves and being able to say it for what it is. But I think he's great for that role. I think he's going to be a head coach one day. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I think he's going to learn from Coach Goodrum. I think a couple years from now, man, he'll be a head coach somewhere for a high school program, and continue to get better and better, man. So I think he has the right mindset. Obviously, the kids love him. I think he's locked and loaded. I think he's the right man for the job to me.
Nah, no doubt, man. It's gonna be it. I mean, we already know what type of Coach Goodrum is. We just had Coach Gotell, and we already know what type of coach he is, man. It's gonna be a special team down there in Griffin. So, stay locked in for that team, ladies and gentlemen. But don't go nowhere if you're in the chat. Like, man, the show is over. The show is never over, ladies and gentlemen. So we got a young man from Norcross, Georgia, man, quarterback. You know what I mean? Hey man, the brother's something nice, something special, man. From the same city that I just from 2028 quarterback, Luqman Baig. We're gonna welcome him on the show, brother. How you doing today, sir?
What's going on, guys? You guys doing good? Enjoying your
Good,
day?
man.
It's
Yes,
good to
sir.
hear. It's good to hear.
Like the studious look, man. Got your glasses on, got the
Yes,
AirPods, man.
sir.
Looking exquisite,
Yes,
brother.
sir. Thank you,
Yes,
sir. Thank you.
no doubt, brother. So man, just introduce yourself to the people, man. They know you as a quarterback, but what are you like off the field?
My name is Luqman. 16. I run track. I have a lot of hobbies. I like cooking. I like drawing. I picked up drawing. It's a really good hobby. It calms me down. Love spending time with my family. Like gaming. I do a lot of regular stuff, but I also do a lot of stuff that a normal kid wouldn't do. I'm always working. I'm always in the weight room. I'm always trying to get better. In the playbook. I like reading. I like doing all that extra stuff.
100%. Brother Special, like he said, doing the extra things. Now I know just as well as you. And Norcross hadn't been at that creme de la creme level where it used to be. You know what I mean? I know you had that chip on your shoulder, one to restore. I'm saying the devil's pride. So what are you kind of doing to, you know what I'm saying, put yourself in a position to where you can take that team back to where it used to be?
Well, first it starts with the chemistry and knowing the guys that you're around day in, day out. I always try to like hold myself accountable to make sure that I'm getting to know everybody. So I'm trying to like all the new guys I go up, introduce myself,
Mm.
try to get to know them better. But it's a struggle sometimes, but they open up after a while. We got a lot of transfers this year, and I think we do morning workouts, we work hard in the mornings, and the coaches are always pushing us to get back to the level that we used to be at. Last year was, of course, like it was not the Norcross standard. It was a disappointment. I felt disappointed with the way the season went. A lot of stuff could have happened, but we've been working. Like these last 2 months, it's been straight work. We've been in the weight room, been lifting. Yeah. Got to be strong. And like smart. So like, every Thursday we hold film study sessions with our offensive coordinator and gotta know the playbook inside out. And defense is doing the same thing. They're eating over there. Coach Moore got them right. But yeah, that's about it. Just knowing your team, building chemistry, and being smart too. Just like taking care of your body, take care of your mental, all of that.
No, 100%. Something you said, man. You said introducing yourself to the guys, man. Sometimes it has sometimes it takes time. It takes time to build those relationships, but just talk about, you know what I mean. Um was it, you said it was kind of difficult, you know what I'm saying, disconnect? Is that just, you know what I mean, just the cold approaching or just the conversation part? What do you mean?
Yeah, just opening up. Some of them they don't really talk that much. They weren't used to this at their old schools. Like,
Okay.
but at Norcross, we're family, we're brothers, and I want to make sure all my brothers are good.
Absolutely, man. What's some goals that you have for yourself? A couple in the weight
For
room.
the season,
Yes, sir, for the season.
well, I wanna make sure the off season is the best off season I can have. I want to make sure I hit a lot of camps up. I just want to stay in the weight room, get bigger. Right now, I'm losing a little weight because of Ramadan, but I'm grinding every day and just stay in the playbook and earn my coach's trust is what's most important. And gain maturity too, like growing up, like as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize that this is a livelihood for the coaches and they're depending on like 16, 17-year olds to feed their kids, put food on the table and stuff. So you start to realize it faster that like what you do affects more than yourself. It affects your family, affects your coaches, your teammates, all of that. So I'm focused on having a good off season, and so like I can earn a starting job and take every week, like put up numbers, put up stats. That's important, but it's not getting the W's and building team chemistry and just being a winning program is what's important to me this offseason.
Does that add any pressure to you? Like you said, you know, the coaches are relying on 16, 17-year-olds to keep their job. You may have a coach that you really like, and like, man, coach, I want to keep coach here, man. Do you carry any of that pressure on your shoulders as I mean, do what you do?
A little bit. I mean, sometimes I love my coaches, man. They're so like they do a lot of stuff for us and they put themselves out there for us. They're just teaching. They just want to help young men thrive and become good, great men in the future. And my offense coordinator, Coach Hush, he's always nice to me. He's always treating me right. And I want to do it for him. I want to do it for Coach Moore, the D coordinator, the linebackers coach, Coach Richardson, the new coach. Just oh, this is a band of guys who just want to support us, and I feel like we need to give back to them.
100%. And on the flip side, this has got to be a great, you know what I mean, training ground for when you do get to the next level of just, you know what I mean, not having to worry. I mean, it's going to be different pressure at the next level, but it's got to be a great training ground for the next level.
Yes,
But
sir.
but what's been your schedule, man? Is how many workouts a day? I mean, what's been your schedule during the week?
Well, first period weight training for me. I always get a good lift in, then go to school. get through school. After school, we have Mondays and Thursdays. We have speed training to work on the how to run properly, the form and everything. And I usually go to track after that. So that's my main focus right now is to get faster this off season. Put on a little weight too, and then usually in the evenings on some days, got focused on school. So I usually have tutoring to help me with like math or biology or something, and then like I have a quarterback coach that I train with, and I go to another gym called Adapt in Chamblee
Mm.
that I work out at too.
Nah, I'm saying I'm hearing a lot of calories lost, and as you said at the beginning, man, it is Ramadan time. For those who don't know, the brother's not eating before the sun comes up, or he's eating
No
only
water
before the
either.
sun. No water either, no food, no water. Once that sun come up, it's over, and once that sun go down, it's a go time. So how you kind of just, you know what I mean, staying locked in, brother?
It's sometimes it's a struggle. Really, it is. First couple days, the first couple weeks actually are really struggling. It's been easier so far. Last year was pretty hard, but when all the not eating, being dehydrated, being tired, your mental, you're going through it. You're not being able to sleep right. But I realized over time that all of that is a blessing. The struggle is a blessing so that you can better yourself. The holy month is to better yourself as a person. And that's what I think is going to also help me on my football journey is going through the struggle, going through, not going through the motions, but just like trying something new, including it into my schedule and just like seeing how it will help me.
Nah, definitely. So what do you feel like? You've already kind of touched on it a little bit how you got to stay locked in and keep pushing, but from a religious standpoint and a physical standpoint, what do you feel like? How do you grow the most during this time?
Well, I'm trying to go to the masjid as much as I can, the mosque, just pray, pray, pray. And just pray during school, pray before school, pray after school. Just thank God for all the blessings He's given me. And just be grateful for all that He's gonna give to me in the future. And pray for my parents' health, pray for my siblings' health, just pray for my football career, especially because it's so important. Everything that you pray for, it will come true, hopefully. But yeah, it takes a lot out of you, but you get used to it after a while.
100%. Now, do you couple more and I'll throw it to Naj? Do you feel like you perform better? Like we look at Kyrie Irving last year, Ian Jackson. You know, what I mean, he started his
Yeah,
Muslim journey. Do you feel like you
yeah,
perform better on an empty stomach?
yeah, definitely. It gives you the drive, the determination to just ball out. Like Kyrie, that's my favorite NBA player right there. Him, Jalen Brown, those two are they're amazing basketball players. I know a couple Muslim ones too. I like Sanu. He used to play for the Falcons.
Yeah.
He's really good. He's a really good player. I don't know any quarterbacks, surprisingly, but I hope we can get some soon. But it's just like it's amazing to see those dudes. They're just playing, and they take breaks. Even soccer players taking breaks to break their fast and for the faith and religion. Like I really like respect what they're doing. Definitely.
Now, for you, I know I'm slowly, you know what I'm saying, researching or ingratiating myself into the Muslim culture. But I know biblically, the Bible says you don't want to boast about fasting. But Ramadan is kind of like it's a little more in your face because it's a full month. And it's, you know what I mean, you got different influencers, you know what I mean, who talk about it, Brother Ben X, those and others. For you, do you kind of let teammates know, or you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you made a post about it, you just not really.
Not really. I try to keep it to myself for real.
Um,
They'll ask me like why I'm not eating or why I'm not drinking, but I don't want to make it like I don't want to put a burden on them. Like if they get around me and they start eating or drinking, they feel bad. But honestly, it's just a silent battle I like having with myself. It's like, yeah, it's like I'm the only one doing this because there's not a lot of Muslim kids that like on the football team. Like I got one dude named AJ. Me and him, all we do is we fast together. It's just us two. But it's different. I love being different than everybody else. Everybody is either Christian or something like that. But like I don't want to make this religious, but it's just like I feel like it's good like fasting and doing this for religion, your faith, and all of that.
Absolutely. I mean, you have a platform now, but as your brand grows and your story grows, um, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? Your story to be to those people.
Just someone that can look like young Muslim kids that can look up to someone who's not like the normal athletic NFL player, college football player, just like someone who's different and they show everybody and they have pride and they're proud of what they have. I'm proud that I'm different to everybody. I just want to I know I can be as good as everybody on the next level. I just have to put in the work, I have to grind, and I have to be smart about it too.
That's the last thing for me, man. Because I really want to drive the point home, brother. You know what I mean? People may be just introduced to this topic for the first time. Like, man, I don't know, man. It sounds a little off, man. But like you say, you feel good to a degree. But afterwards, just let the people know, how do you feel at the end of Ramadan, man? Just what's after fighting through, persevering, but just what's the overall embodiment and mental feeling?
Um, Honestly, it's like you just go back to your regular life, but it helps you break old habits that you have in yourself and it makes you a better person. And I'm grateful that I got to fast last year and hopefully I can do it this year and years to come. But it's just it's just different. Not a lot of people can relate, but it's amazing the feeling you get when you realize you fast all 30 days or you fast a lot of the 30 days and you just like you just it just gives you a happiness in your heart to know that you got to break old habits and you're bettering yourself as a person.
Inshallah. Go ahead now.
Um, I guess my question on that to kind of leave it there is, how do you do that and still be able to focus in with school? Because I know obviously that's
uh,
not easy, using a lot of brain power, energy. How do you do that?
it's some days I don't know how I do it, but barely sleep some nights. But man, it's like every time I think about fasting, I think about my late grandfather and how much he worked. He's an immigrant, so how much he worked to come to this country and provide my family support. And I just do it for my grandmother, my dad. They're just my mom. They're all hard workers, and they do so much for me. I know I can't let them down, so I'm just pushing myself to the limits some days. It's hard, but I'm pushing myself to the limits no matter what. Not for myself, but for my family and the ones who were there for me from the beginning and those who sacrificed for me.
What would be the ultimate satisfaction for you? Hold on. Sorry, that's my Alexa. Sorry about that, y'all. But it always goes off at 8:30, y'all. Sorry about that. But what would be your ultimate satisfaction, Lukman, of just like, okay, like not necessarily I made it in life, but I was able to achieve everything I wanted to, and I was able to leave a smile on my parents. Like what's the ultimate satisfaction for you that you want them to feel when they see you?
Honestly, getting that first D1 offer, it'll hit different for sure. I know my dad, he's crazy about me and like my football career, and it would mean the world to him. It's just like me getting my first offer. I'm dying to get it. When I get it, I'm gonna be so humble, but so grateful for it. And we're just gonna keep working. Like we're not gonna think about everybody else getting offers. It's good for them. I'm happy for them, but I'm gonna eat soon, and that's my satisfaction. Is that when I'm at the next level playing football, and everybody can come to my games. That's when I feel satisfied. Until then, we're gonna stay hungry. We're gonna be grinding, and we're gonna go into the next day and just keep it pushing. You know.
For sure. What was that initial conversation like with your parents or even your dad when you was like, "Yo, I want to play football. I love the sport." Like, what was that conversation like, and what ultimately drew you to the sport?
Just like when I was starting off, I was a little chubby as a little baby, so he wanted to put me at like linebacker or a lineman or something like that. But then he got me into other sports. He got me into baseball, basketball. You can see that I got a little arm on me. So like, hey, we might have something on our hands here. So he like let me wing it I-9 football, flag football, for like a couple years, and then put me in sixth grade tackle football. And then it was a conundrum. It was it was something. It was a bad experience. I'll say that. But over the years, it got better. We got better. We developed. We trained. We worked. But at the beginning, I'd say my love for football came like because my dad used to play Redan High School, class of 90 something. I forgot. Um, Only Indian DB out there. There was nobody else. Yeah, it was crazy. he just always shared his stories, always told me about like his first pick. Again, he told me about he got trucked by Jamal Lewis yesterday. That was funny when they played Douglas. But yeah, it's just my love of football came from him because he's my big Miami fan too. So just like watching the games with him, watching the Falcons games with him, just sharing the love of football with someone else for him just made me happy. So I guess I developed it over my dad. Yeah.
Okay, Brian Plus Pops.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Plus
I love
Pops.
the
That's
you,
my first
man.
thing. Yeah, y'all know the
Everybody
vibes.
thinks I'm a bandwagon for some reason, but I've been rubbing them since like sixth grade. It's crazy.
Facts. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
man. All right, Miami fan. I respect that, brother. Respect. We should have won this year, but it's okay.
Yeah. We should have won this year. Yeah. I thought when we beat Ohio State, we were going to win it all, but
Right. You gonna beat them?
I was like,
Come
nobody
on
else
now.
can beat us. What?
I know. I know. You know what's crazy, Luqman? I was trying to tell Bacon. Bacon was so high on Carson Beck. I said he gonna be the downfall. I was like, he gonna make a play, scratch your head play. If we had any other quarterback, we would have won.
I saw that play. I was like, Carson Beck, man. Like,
In a nutshell.
That's y'all guy, man. Up to you. Using the chat.
Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. No, sir. Excuse me. But on a cool note, man, I want to ask you about a 7-on-7 tournament you just went through. I think I got the right film. Let me make sure I'm not mistaken. But y'all went pretty far. I think you had 10 plus touchdowns, no interceptions. You talked about executing. So just talk about how that event went, man, and what did you enjoy most? What did you learn most?
yeah, we went 3-0, got the first seed on the first day. Second game came out, put 30 in the first game, and then we ran into Hustle Inc. And
Ooh.
that just didn't go our way, unfortunately. Could have made some plays, had a bunch of drops. Defense wasn't getting enough stops, but this past weekend we played at the same tournament in another tournament in Gainesville Prep Red Zone, and that was a different experience because all the teams. C1M was there,
Ooh.
Zillow Zoo was there, all these athletes. It was insane. I haven't been to a tournament with the caliber of of the athletes that were there. I got to see Cam for the first time. That was pretty crazy. He's huge, but
It is.
yeah, it's a 7-on-7. I love 7. I like 7-on-7. It's a cool experience. Be with my guys. Hopefully we can get some more tournaments in, build chemistry with my guys. But overall, it's a fun experience, definitely.
What do you enjoy? What do you enjoy the most about it? If you had to say,
Playing with my teammates for sure, and throwing a bunch of touchdowns and talking trash, definitely.
what I guess how has it helped your game? Maybe necessarily, I guess, because I know 7-on-7, your process is sped up, right? You only get probably 2 or 3 seconds, if that, to
Yeah,
make that
force it.
read and
Yeah.
throw. So how does that help you?
Well, it gives me the reps that I need for throwing, and it like gets me. It keeps me like warm and keeps me like over the off season. Like the weekends, like they might be open if I didn't do 7-on-7, but it just helps me get reps in. It helps me like work on my craft, work on my technique, all of that.
And then what 7-on-7 team you running with?
Right now, Battleborn, it's just a group of Norcross guys because all the other teams, I was busy when they had all their tournaments, so I didn't get to try out for all the other teams. But this is just a group of Norcross guys that one of my coaches put together right now. They just build chemistry. That's what I meant. But we didn't really want to try out for any other teams. But yeah, it was just this.
Okay. What do you think is one of your strengths as a quarterback that a lot of people don't know about, but they should know about you?
I think I can be a little bit of a runner. If I can break the pocket when it collapses, I can pull reads. I know how to read the edges really good. I know how to make. I feel like I can make plays, throws on the runs, all that. I think this season you'll see that I can use my legs a little bit. That's why I did track. Track actually helped me get a lot faster. The transition from freshman to sophomore, I did track that spring, and it just took off. I got faster. I got a lot of yards on the ground. And I learned that over time you need to be able to run. Quarterbacks in the NFL, you need to be able to run, or else your standing statue is just like it's harder to just like get the ball out quick, like Tom Brady did. Like you need to like you need developing routes, you need a 3-step drop, and you need to move in the pocket in case it collapses, and you gotta do that at all levels of the game, not just the NFL.
Is there anybody you like to watch, Luqman?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like I like to watch a lot of Mike Vick because it's my favorite player. It's my favorite quarterback of all time. I watch a lot of Jaden Daniels.
We lost him.
You making Bacon smile. Bacon's like,
Nah, I want to
Like
speak
Bacon.
big. I'm not gonna lie to you, brother.
Falcons.
Well, yeah, but you know, you know what I'm saying, he's a little younger. I thought you might say Matt Ryan. I just
Ain't nobody saying no Matt Ryan, bro. I didn't told you. Ain't nobody saying no
Hey,
Matt Ryan, man.
I'm glad you made it known, brother. You know what I mean? He seems to
Nobody
be doing okay as a GM, but as a quarterback.
Nobody saying Matt Ryan.
Carson Beck or Matt Ryan, real quick.
I'll go Matt Ryan.
All
He
right.
ain't that trash. I'll go Matt Ryan. Oh, you muted, brother.
My bad. I had a little technical difficulties over here.
Good.
But I was saying I was Mike Vick right now. I like Jaden Daniels a lot. Jalen Hurts for his leadership and how he carries the team. And then underrated, not a lot of people will say him, but I like Baker Mayfield a lot. I think he's a dog at heart, and
Yeah.
I like the way he talks trash and like he gets into DB's face, and it just makes makes himself known basically.
Definitely.
Go ahead, Falcon fan. You want to say anything about what you said about Mike Vick?
Nah, I mean, it makes sense knowing that you're a Falcons fan, but I just wasn't expecting you to say Mike Vick, bro. But
I think his prime was better than Matt Ryan's, but a lot of people would disagree.
Hey, man.
Hey, Vic boy, that dude was different. That boy was raw.
Different, man. I
That dude was moving.
As man moving. Talking about the fake slide against Denver, man. Come on, man. That Ryan ain't
I'm
doing
talking
nothing.
about that overtime win versus Minnesota. Broke that tackle, cut right through those two dudes, took it to. I knew he wasn't gonna throw that. I knew he was. I was watching the film. I was like, man, this dude, he's just gonna do it by himself. He ran out the stadium, man.
You cut like that?
I want to. That's what we're working to right now.
What's your what events you run in track? I thought about just a second.
100, 200.
100, 200. All right. So what you
There's
running?
actually a kid at my school named Jason. He ran like a 20.7 yesterday at Lakeside, Westlake, something like that. One of the schools. At Big Meat. He runs like a 10.8, 100. He's crazy fast. He's like one of my dudes I know for a long time. So yeah.
What do you run though, brother?
And the 100, I think I run like a 11.8. 200 is like a 24, 23. Or no, it's like a 24 something. No, I feel like that's progress from last year. Last year I wasn't good, but it's progress. I'm not taking track seriously though. It's just for the exercise.
I mean, you gotta take that seriously, brother. You know what I mean? You're trying to be that dual threat. Gotta be your bio, man. Gotta live up to it, brother.
Definitely.
Get locked in, brother.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead now.
So your process is different, Luqman, right? Obviously, we know about some of your stories. So you seem very grounded, very humble. But Norcross is not giving you just the job, right? They've made you earn. Even last year, PG Wolf played a lot. You played some. What would you tell other kids that come in that, oh, I'm supposed to start as soon as I come out? Like, how do you stay grounded through that process of it might not go your way as soon as you get in there?
I know. I always think about that stuff. Like late at night, just like what if someone else 5-star transferred in or something crazy like that. But I just know that my coaches are always going to put me. They trust me. Like I built the connection with them. All I know is that if I know the playbook, if my body's ready, if I'm mentally, physically ready, they're gonna give me a shot. And whatever I do with the reps I get, I just gotta do great with the reps I get. Basically, just like everything's not given to you. You gotta earn it. So that's what I've learned over the past couple of years. I mean, last year. I mean, I could have had a good shot for a starting job, but they had a guy like PJ come in and he's senior. He's got seniority, he's got experience, like, and I learned from him a little bit. And I definitely felt like I could have gotten in a little more, but this year we're coming for it all.
Period. Now we're gonna put you in position. Let's say you win the job. You're the starting quarterback. How do you get my alma mater, school you're currently at, How do you get us back to where we've been known for, competing for championships, going deep into the playoffs? How do we get back to that level, Luqman?
It starts with team morale. You gotta have everybody around the team's gotta be happy. You gotta be pumped, ready to play, come to practice, pumped. Coaches gotta have good morale. Just like the energy can't be low. It's gotta be pumped. You gotta be like, we're gonna go 10-0. We're gonna go run through the playoffs. We're gonna go into Grayson, beat Grayson. We're gonna go Buford, beat whoever comes across us. Like you gotta set these standards for yourself, even though they might not be realistic. But you just gotta have hope in that you can do some of this stuff. I feel like we have a good shot at this season at doing really good, if not going undefeated, winning 10 or winning 8, 9 games, like going for a run. And I always think of myself. Lately, we've been the underdogs. I mean, people count us out of all their rankings. Like, we don't care about all that. QB Marcus, like, I like him, but we don't care about all that right now. We know what we got over here, and just like you can post us,
Nice.
when we win in games. Trust me.
Nah, for sure.
Okay, I got Luqman. I want you to keep it. Please keep this 1,000 with us, please. We trying to do a poll, okay? You did really good though. I'm not gonna lie, you did really good. But there's a lot of smoke out there for QB Marcus. I just want to ask for the kids. Tell me from a kid perspective.
I don't know
Overall,
why
how
they
do y'all
disrespect
feel
that
like
man. He's just trying to make a living. I like
right?
what he does.
So you like what he does. Like I said, you're level headed. You're grounded. I can tell you're really smart, young man. Why does everybody else have so much smoke for him? What is it that he does that pisses so many kids off?
I feel like sometimes his rankings, like he likes to like quote unquote glaze players, just like give players a little extra than what they really are, and just.
Okay.
But I just think that like sometimes like people don't get posted, they get mad at their other people get posted, but honestly, like if you really want to compete, you can't worry about all of that. So it doesn't all matter. It's just rankings. It's just out there. Like it gives you if you're posted, it gives you a little bit, like I'm getting recognized. But like if you're not, then don't worry about it, man. It's just like, man, we haven't been posted in like however long, but we know what we got over here. So
Period. Let me ask you this. Obviously, you're running track now, and that's going to extend all the way through the spring, going into the summer. So, what's next after that for you, right? I know you guys are going to have spring ball. What does that look like? Who you guys are going to play spring? If you know that already, if you don't, that's okay. And
all right.
will you guys as a team play a whole bunch of 7-on-7 this summer?
So spring game, we play at Collins Hill.
Oh,
I think May, April, late April, early May, something like that. But um after track, we got March Madness coming up this March, early morning workouts,
Mm.
and expect to see all my guys there. Just team morale is going to be high. It's going to be a good season this year, and it needs to start with the next 2 3 months. We just need to prepare it, and we know what we have against Collins Hill, but we know they've lost a couple players. But I feel like that we have a good team and that we're going to beat them.
who's some players? So, give us a little bit of a spiel. Who's some players you need to watch out for this year?
Definitely. Some of my receivers' name is Jalen Tipton Harris, transfer from Chambly. Jason Jones, DB. He's a sophomore. He's my class. Marcus Austin at back 6'4", 6'5" in the trenches. He's my class too.
Mm.
Some seniors, Eric Pitts. Defense AJ Allen, linebackers, two linebackers that we got this year. Running back, tight end Davis Marshke. He played a lot last year. He's gonna get a lot of the reps this year. And then Drew St. Noel, he's undersized, but he's got that dog mentality. I'd say those guys.
Okay. All right, man. Appreciate you putting us on game. Real quick, what are your thoughts on Coach Richardson? I know he came in, he's the head coach now. Previously was Coach Maloof. What's your thoughts on him?
Coach Richardson's a great guy. He'll be straight up with you, tell you how you're doing, what you need to improve on. But I've known Coach Richardson since like seventh or eighth grade, and I've always remembered him as being just a great guy you want to be around. And like he's really a guy that you want coaching you because he's an all team guy. He wants us to love each other and to be there for each other. And he shows so much respect to me and my family and just everybody's family. He's just such a nice dude. And if anybody's to replace Maloof, it would be Coach Richardson. He knows a lot. He's super experienced, super smart guy.
For sure. Last one, if I throw back to Bacon. What does it mean to you to pull on a Norcross uniform, man? It's a lot of tradition there. It's a lot of elite players have been made it to the NFL. The Alvin Kamara's, Lorenzo Carter's, you know what I'm saying? The Christopher Herndon's, so many that I can name. What does it mean to you to pull on a Norcross Blue Devil uniform?
It means the world. I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't play anywhere else. I'm on Norcross. I'm all about Norcross. I just look up to guys like AJ Watkins or Dylan Muhammad. Those two dudes, they're ballers. Jamari Harold, one of my close guys. He transferred. He graduated a couple years ago, but those dudes embodied Norcross. I want to be one of the people that people look up to. Like he is on Norcross because we got the city over here is amazing. Petrie Corners, Norcross, all mixed together. It's a great place to be. They'll come out, they'll support you, they'll pack the stands, and it's always a good game when you got Norcross playing. That's what we're trying to make it this year.
Period. Throw to you, Bacon.
So what y'all doing for fun in the Peachtree Corners?
What do you mean by that?
Like what I'm saying, is it a spot y'all go to kind of hang out? Like how do y'all like bond? Like
Oh, it's like a city in Georgia. Or yes, I'm pretty sure it's a city. It's a nice area of town. It's
They still call it the
this
Forum?
yeah, the Forum. It's a place in Peachtree Corners. Yeah,
that's
it's a
what's
nice
up, man.
place. Yeah.
What's some of your hobbies, man? What you kind of do to kind of decompress?
Listen to music. I listen a lot. I haven't listened to a lot of music lately, but whenever I get a chance, just plug my AirPods in, go for a walk.
Mhm.
Just I also like I like drawing. Like I said at the beginning, like I got really into drawing. I like drawing cars. I like drawing animals. That stuff makes me decompress. Go away. I'm in. What are you talking about? My sister.
Oh, good.
Um, I like what else I like? I like cooking. Like me and my dad, he likes cooking a lot too. So we do a lot of cooking around the house for my mom, for my siblings. I got my license, so
Yes, sir.
yeah, just going for a drive, I guess. That's pretty cool. It's a good way to chill and just like being around friends and just going out and hanging out. Other than that, I'm not really I haven't really decompressed in a long time. I've just been for like a little bit, like a couple weeks, just been locked in. Not a lot of time to chill. Right now, I have like a 2 year period. I have a year. This year, I gotta make it count. So I've just been working, working, working. No time to relax. I mean, you get here and there, but like, it's work. It's no nonstop. It's the grind right now.
I'm trying to chill. I'm locked in. I like that. Let's see. So let's just get out the way, man. What's your top three artists right now that you listen to?
um, Most people don't like this. I like Rod Wave a lot. I feel like once you listen to hear the lyrics, you know, focus on the beat. He says a lot of stuff that you can connect with about mental health, about how you feel, about like what you want, what you like to do. Like, who else I like? I like NBA YoungBoy a lot, and I listen to Lil
They-
Tony. Those three.
Okay, don't tell me. Okay, I haven't heard of him. I'm at to look.
Lil Tony, yeah,
Little Tony.
he's
Oh, okay.
underground. Mm.
And then what do you cook, man? What's like? Yeah, you had some nice come through, man. What you cooking on the grill?
Yeah. I like cooking a lot of like pasta, um, mac and cheese. I make a mean mac and cheese with some buffalo chicken on top. I'll send y'all guys a picture later, but that was
Nice,
a really
nice.
nice meal. I'm really good at like making like breakfast stuff, like pancakes, eggs, all that stuff. I haven't really like brought in like opened it up yet because I just haven't had the time. But sooner or later, I'll find a good video and try to recreate it and stuff.
Nice, brother. Chef. Nah, that's what's up, man. Just a couple more questions, man. We'll let you rock, man.
Yes, sir.
Locked in, as you say, gotta make this off season count, this track season count, everything's gotta count this season. What else are you doing amongst the team to separate yourself and set yourself as a bona fide leader on the team?
Like every weekend, I like to call up one of the guys or a couple guys and like go to the field, put some work in, just build a chemistry. I told them like, we've cut the post, like a little shorter, go deeper, something like cut the out like a little, like make sure your brakes at like 10 or something, like, or speed cut it, don't break it down. It's just like working on the little stuff, because the little stuff is gonna matter in the future. And it's like you gotta make sure that your guys can trust you to go out there and make the plays, and like know, you gotta know where they want the ball. And then like I'm working on stuff with my coach, like getting in. My coach said like working and going to offensive line film and seeing how it's a different story being in the trenches, because like this O line or underratedly one of the smartest. It's one of the smartest positions on the field. It's more than just blocking someone. You gotta
Hmm.
know who to block. You know when you're pulling, you gotta know like where to make the holes, all of that, and you just gotta know the calls, and you just got. It's a grind. You don't come off the field like receivers sometimes, running back sometimes. You guys gotta switch off the field, rotate. O line, they're on there the whole time, the whole series. So I really respect the offensive line. I've gotten to respect them a lot more, and they get to protect. They gotta protect me, and eventually I'll start taking them to get food, and hopefully that earns their trust. But more
Yeah.
receivers, just like working on the little stuff, working, critiquing the routes, and just like getting together and just putting the work in is more important than anything else to me.
Well said. So very detailed in your approach. You're talking about rounding instead of making the regular cut. When you flip that switch and you become, quarterback version of yourself, because we wear many personalities. Just what's your personality like when that flip switches, man? If you could give us any insight.
Man, like in the game is completely different than like practice. Practice, I'm a happy dude. I'm like focused, locked in. I'm just trying to trying to put my teammates in a good position. But in the game, it's like a flip switch. Like you guys, hopefully you guys see it this season, where it's like I plan this season to like talk a lot, like a lot of that rah stuff. Just like get up in people's faces and stuff, and like make my presence known. I'm not just a little brown dude that they can pick on, or they can make fun of my cadence or something. Like that flip switches, and I want to be I want to be a freaking dog. That's what I want to be. I think I am a dog. I just gotta show people that I'm a dog, and it's just this is different. Out on the field, it's like you can be whoever you want out there, but I choose to be a dog. I want to be a killer.
That is, man. I think you just said it, man. So I would say when you go back and say it ain't no if, brother. It's a now, and then it's when it happens, when you know what I'm saying, when it's a game day. So I think you're gonna be well prepared. You sound like you know what I'm saying, you're locked in and holding everybody accountable and taking care of your business, man. So brother, if Nas doesn't have anything, man, we're gonna bid you your due and appreciate you coming on.
Yes,
Anything?
sir. Thank you guys. All good.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you, Luqman.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me tonight.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anytime.
Yes,
Let us
sir.
know about
All
your
right.
journey, man. Keep us involved, man.
Yes,
You
sir.
come
Yes,
on
sir. I'll
anytime.
make sure to do that. All right. Y'all take care.
Yes,
So,
sir.
brother.
All right, man. There he goes, man. Luqman Baig. Appreciate him
Yes,
coming
sir.
on the show, man.
Oh, good. Let me tell Cuz. Hey, man, represent your alma mater well, man. I think I got something special, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. You definitely got the right mindset, man. So, next year, hopefully they don't, bring another QB in, allow them to compete with what's there, man. It's hard. Like you said, it's hard when they bring people in. We've seen it, several times, man. I think even with quarterbacks at Buford, when they got, Dylan Raiola a few years ago, I'm saying he
His
comes
brother.
in. Yeah, and then they had to end up transferring. So, it's tough. I think that was a situation that what's his name? Christian Langford. He ended up, that was a tough situation for him. He ended up having to transfer and then eventually ended up at Langston Hughes. So it'd be
Yeah,
tough.
I mean, for anybody, man, that is potentially could be in that situation or gets thrusted in that situation, I have to bring in, a 5-star quarterback. All I'm gonna say is, man, is this is why you have to work when your parents invest into you to go to these training sessions, man. Take it serious, man. You know what I mean? Squeeze all the juice out of that as you can, man. Because in retrospect, or in hindsight, man, those kids that are flying in at 5 stars are really no different than you are, other than the fact that they put in that work. They're sticking to the routine, they're being disciplined in their regiment, and they're being intentional in their practice. So, I mean, if you're doing that, you know what I mean? If you were missing throws last season, I'm going to go with this guy or whatever your name is. If you focus, lock in, things can change in one off season. but you got to really want it. You got to put yourself in that mindset as you already have it and put the action behind it. You do those things, man. You know what I mean? You could force. I know. Your son just flew in and he was balling a couple states out, but I mean, he's looked exceedingly better than your son has. So we're gonna have to go with, you know what I mean. So that's just my 2 cents. You know what I mean, but it all depends on you.
I agree.
So I just told Coach we're ready for him, ready to rock and roll. So I would tap into a topic while we wait for him, brother. So
I got you.
yes, sir.
I got you. Go and get your thoughts on this, man. Several topics we could talk about. Bacon. We'll talk about this one right here, though. QB Marcus broke this.
Yeah.
Trey Hassan, he transfers from Hillgrove or from Milton to Hillgrove. What is your thoughts and reactions to this, Bacon?
I mean, I like what Hillgrove is building, man. I think they're trying to continue to be competitive. Obviously, we know Baker CB is playing at Milton, so yeah, I'm trying to give some burn. Though I do like the jersey swap, Marcus, or whoever did that's tough. But I mean, I think this is a good move, a big move. He's 29, right? So he's a freshman or sophomore. He's a sophomore, so you know what I mean. But it's a good move. It's a good move.
As a side note, we know the Hoop Show is on Thursday. Caleb Wilson's expected to be back on March 7th against Duke. Quick reaction, Bacon. I know it's the football pod, but that's big news.
That's big news. How effective is he going to be with a cast on his hand? Is going to be my number one question. I mean, he already said he was going to try. It wasn't over. So if you've been paying attention, we talked about it on the last show that he was going to come back. But how effective will he be? Is his presence enough to beat a Duke team that's riding very high right now, who just upset Michigan at home on neutral site? I'm sorry.
Great question. If you want to know the full response, y'all know what to do. Join us on Thursday night. All right, man. We got Coach Barr in the building. Bacon, I'll let you lead. This is your guest. Appreciate Coach tapping in.
What up, man? How y'all doing?
Well, good, Coach. Appreciate you coming on, Coach.
I got you.
Nah, Coach. I mean, for everybody who's watching, but it's just Coach Walter Vine, man. Is a man that seen it all, done it all. Coached at the collegiate level. You know what I mean? Assistant to position coach. Is now the head coach of North Springs. So, Coach, just kind of walk us through this journey, how you come to North Springs.
Well, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. You talked about the collegiate level. I coached at the collegiate level for right at a decade. 2020, obviously, my last year was at Murray State. Was 2019. Finished there 2019. Came to Georgia 2020. Pandemic hit. It was time to stay home. So I decided to stay home. Got into high school football. Actually applied. Crazy part is, this is crazy, man. And I want people to hear this. It was harder to get a high school job than it was to get a collegiate job, man. I mean, I was throwing my name out all over the state of Georgia to get a job. Fortunately, Coach Jeff Phillips, who's the head coach at the time at North Springs, hired me as the defensive line coach. From there, I worked at North Springs with Coach Phillips. Coach Phillips then moved on to Campbell High School. And when he moved on to Campbell High School, I stayed around at North Springs and worked with Coach Brock, who they brought in as the head coach, and worked a year with Coach Brock. Then after that, man, I kind of moved on and was the defense coordinator at Best Academy. And then from Best, kind of helped out somewhere else, a couple places, and had the opportunity to come back, man, and be the head coach at North Springs High School. So it's been a journey, man, but I appreciate it. I'm thankful for it and ready to show people that, there's more than one school up north in North Fulton. I'm pretty sure everybody know what school I'm talking about in North Fulton, but it's more than one school in North Fulton.
Well said, Coach. Well said. So what are y'all doing to, make that message plain that there's more than one school in North Fulton?
Well, the biggest thing is, man, getting out in the community. Getting out in the community. That's the biggest thing. I can remember when I came in 2020, 2021, and I watched some of the state championship games, And I'm looking at these kids, and then you go back and you look at the middle schools where these kids were at. You're watching 10 to 15 kids playing in the state championship game from the higher division to the lower division, and these kids are zoned, should I say, to go to North Springs High School, man. So it's just about being visible, and visible in the community, visible at the middle school, and just retaining the kids that we have, man. I don't believe in going out recruiting other people's kids. I just want to retain the kids that's supposed to come to us. If we can just retain the kids that we have, you'll see that it'll be a big difference this year, just by retaining the kids that we have.
You know what I'm saying? For anybody who's wondering what that sound is, that's the sound of that metal clanking. I'm assuming you know what I'm saying, you in the gym, Coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Coach is definitely dedicated and locked in. Because just if you could talk about what's been how was the success been early on with this? You know what I mean, talking to different parents, talking to middle school coaches, like, hey, you know, we're changing this program to be something that's going to last and be prominent for a long time. How has that been for you?
Well, it's been good. The biggest thing is having that trust. These kids that I have now as seniors, they were actually here when I was just a D-line coach, and they were freshmen. So I think it's just having those kids trust me, and their parents trust me, and trust the system that I have in place, and trust, as you said, a weight room. Having these kids lift weight and move iron. That's the biggest thing. Letting them know that, hey, if you want to play big time high school football, let alone college football, we have to get stronger. The weight room is everything. And I stand by that. I live by that. I know you can win games at any level, just flat out being stronger and tougher than people. So the biggest thing is having the kids trust me, and having the parents trust me that I know what I'm doing, particularly in the weight room. I don't feel that you'll have success at any level if your head coach is not involved in the weight room. If your head coach is not involved in the weight room, you might as well just get ready to chalk it up, because you're going to lose. And I know people hate to hear that. That's something that people in high school kind of just look at as being a small thing. But if you don't have 350-pound bench pressers and 500-pound squatters, you're not going to win many games. High school football has changed. It's no longer high school football, and I've been preaching that for the last 3 years. High school football is college football. Whether you want to hear that or not, it's college football. So you have to get these guys ready to play Friday nights as if they're going out on Saturday to compete at that high level. And if you're not doing that, then you're going to be behind.
Well said, Coach. So do you feel like it's tougher to come in high school and kind of win over the area and bring the kids up, whether than just coach at the collegiate system where it's kind of parents and the young men already know the expectations, and I know it's different from the, you know what I'm saying, from the school's brass, but just from that lay of the land, what's your thoughts?
I think you hit the nail on the head, man. It is tougher for the simple fact in college, you pretty much, they're young adults. Let's just call it for what it is. They're young adults. So it's either you do it or I get somebody else to do it. Where in high school, it's like, hey, man, I know you play another sport, but if you want to be a big-time athlete, you have to lift weights. If you want to be a big-time athlete, maybe you can't go on that vacation for 2 weeks over the summer. I need you here over the summer getting stronger. So that's the biggest thing, is just getting, like you talked about earlier, getting the parents on board and getting the parents to trust your vision. And I'm big on telling parents, I'm a straight shooter. You can't ask me, why my kid isn't getting recruited if your kid is constantly missing workouts, or if your kid is a no-show for the summer, and then you're asking me why isn't he getting recruited? Or on the same token, it's a safety issue. I tell them all the time, if you just go out and watch a high school football game now compared to 20 years ago, the game is so much faster. It's so much faster. And if you're not equipped physically, let alone mentally, but physically, you'll get hurt. So I'm not going to put kids on the field that's not ready. in the weight room. I'm not going to put kids on the field that's a liability because they didn't do the necessary things within the weight room. So I feel like, you hit the nail on the head. It's easier in college, man. And if anybody tell you it's not, they're just lying to you just to say that because it's easier in college.
They're trying to get you in the building and say, yeah, we can go tell him what he wants.
You got it. You got exactly.
Nah, but Coach, you talked about high school becoming a new college football, media being a big aspect of it. Again, we appreciate you coming on the show, Coach. Appreciate your sacrifice, whatever times you did. But what value do you see in just doing stuff like this, or having cameramen, or doing things out of the old norm in media to, take your program to the next level?
I love it. I love it because you look at when I graduated in 2005. I was still in the era where you pack the VHS tape, you send it to colleges. Where now, if your kid's not getting recruited, your kid's not getting recruited because he's not exposed or he's not being seen. You have people, far as yourself, that do a great job of highlighting kids and making sure kids' name is out there. You have all the social networks. So if your kid's not getting recruited, it's no longer in the hands of the head coach. It's no longer in the hands of maybe I played for this coach and let's call it for what it is. This coach used me up for 4 years and he really didn't like me, so he didn't send my film to these schools. He wanted me to play for just this certain school. Those days are dead because of you guys. Media, media drives the market. No matter if that market is high school football, college football, or NFL, media is going to drive the market. So that's something that as a coach, you have to stay in front of. You have to be present in the media. You have to understand that when you're in the media, you're getting evaluated as a coach, how you promote your players, how you promote your program, or how you carrying yourself in the media. That's the biggest thing also, because I talk a lot about branding at North Springs, and we're going through a whole nother phase that we set our standard on, and that's being a pro. And we're going to push that thing from the field to the media to everything. It's being a pro. You're going to be a pro in the classroom. You're going to be a pro with media. You're not going to do crazy things. You're not going to do things that embarrass your program because of media. Once it's out there, once you guys have it, it's there. No matter if it's good, bad, or ugly, it's there.
So Coach, we're extending you this point on the platform too. If you have anything to say to not recruiting pitch, but just anything to say to the parents, players, because we're gonna clip this up, we're gonna put it out. Try to help you out. So if you have anything specific you want to say to the people, the floor is yours.
I'm gonna tell you right now. At North Springs High School, it's funny. When I got the job, I looked at my DMs on Twitter, and I'm not lying to you, man. I probably had about 25, 30 schools trying to reach out to get a game with us, to play us. And I know why. But I'm gonna tell this to the parents and the kids now. It's not gonna be a revolving door. So if you are if you supposed to be a North Springs Spartan, you may want to get on board right now, because once we get it rolling and once the door closes, it's not revolving. We're going to win games. We're going to get kids recruited. We're going to sign scholarships. We're going to win championships. And I mean that. I don't stutter when I say that. I genuinely mean that. And I just want people to know it's better to be early than to be late. It's better to say, I was here, I was on board, I know how it runs, I'm a part of it, or on the back end to say, hey, I tried to transfer to that school and I was denied, or I tried to transfer to that school and you just not one of our guys. You could transfer to the school, you could be on the team, but there's no rule to say I have to play you. So you're gonna do things our way, our standard. You're gonna be a pro at how you do it, and I see it changing so fast right now. So I just, my message is all those schools that messaged me and wanted to get a game and our schedule was full, I'll save your spot, especially a couple schools. I'll save your spot for next year. and make sure you have the same message now. It's funny because some of those schools, didn't only won 1 or 2 games themselves, but I'll make sure that next year we'll save you a spot so that we can get a game.
100%. Now, Coach, I also got to say he came highly recommended. You know what I mean? Coach Goodrum told me about you. So what's you and Coach Goodrum's relationship like, man?
Coach Goodrum, good dude, man. Even better coach. I tell him that all the time. Even better coach, man. Intense guy. But our relationship is I was a senior. I was a senior when Coach Goodrum was a freshman on our high school team, man. And I still can remember, man. Coach Griffin was he's about a little short in stature dude, but he would knock the absolute hell out you. I'm just being honest. And by the middle of the year, Coach Goodrum ended up starting for us, man, on a team where we won a couple region championships, played in the dome, and he was a freshman and came in and started, man. And from that time on, I always respected Coach Goodrum from his work ethic. He wasn't going to be outworked no matter his size. And he was always strong as an ox. Now, he probably still can bench press 450 pounds. But his work ethic, man, and I respected it. And from that time on, from when I graduated and played college ball and got into college coaching, I always developed and continued to maintain that relationship with Coach Goodrum. People are always talking about keeping your circle small, but you need to remember when you keep that circle small, you need to make sure you got the right people in that circle. So he's a guy. If I'm walking down the alley and we bump into some people at night, I can turn my back. I know he's swinging. I'm swinging.
Yes,
and we're coming out the alley. I can guarantee you that. We may be bruised up and beat up, but I can guarantee you we're coming out the alley. So I knew when Coach Goodrum took over the team at Griffin, man, and he probably never said, but I told him, I said, man, you guys gonna be better just because I know who you are. I just know who you are, so I know the kids will at least be tougher. So that's our relationship, man. Just a hard-nosed, smart guy, smart coach, hard-nosed, tough guy, man.
And one last thing I'll throw with the Naj. There's one thing that I've learned about you, coach, is you GOM. You getting out the mud. You got out the mud.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you know what I'm saying? Just what's the process if somebody's watching this? I'm coming out of high school, I'm coming out of college, I don't want to be a grad assistant, or maybe they want to be a grad assistant. What's the streamlined process from being a player to becoming GA, becoming a position coach, or one day becoming a high school coach like you are now?
Well, I think the process is it's a little different from everybody. Some guys dislike it. If my dad was a mechanic, it'll be a little easier for me to be a mechanic. So you have some coaches that if my dad was a high school coach, it'll be a little easier for me to be a high school or college coach, just simply because I've been around it. It's easier for me to get ahead of people who may not know the path to take. But for your average everyday person, the path is just hard work and relationships, man. No matter if you're in high school, no matter if you're in college, the thing I always remember is you never know who's the next guy to have that HC on his hat and have that whistle around his neck. So it's all about, working as hard as you can with the assistants, working as hard as you can with the players, always having that work ethic so that the person who's beside you, the person who's behind you, in front of you, that person will always say, hey, once I get a shot, I'm going to make sure that he's on my staff. I don't know what he's doing, but he's going to be on my staff doing something. So it's just like, and I've been in such good situations, man, just to see people work hard from the college level, from the high school level, who I've just learned from, man. And I'm just thankful, man, that some of that stuff just kind of stuck with me. But the main thing is, man, if you're trying to go into college or high school, I tell everybody, man, football is football. You're still going to have 11 on the field. The only thing that's going to change is the hashes. Okay. You're going to be a little wider in high school, believe it or not, a little tougher to defend in high school with all that grass, but the hashes are going to change on you, man. But far as just building the relationships, man, and watching people grind and work, man. I'm very appreciative of it.
Going to coaching clinics, last thing, are going to coaching clinics essential, or does that not kind of?
I think they are, just because I feel like you can learn something from everyone, no matter if that's mindset, no matter if that's stance, starts. I think they are essential for you to go to learn. The day you stop learning, that's probably the day that you need to retire. No matter if you're going to learn from a 2-year coach in high school, or you're going to learn from a 20-year vet in the NFL. I think it's essential that you continue to clinic and continue to learn. I always laugh, man, because one of my best friends is the DB's coach for the Cleveland Browns, man. And when we talk, it's funny. He started talking to me about D-line stuff. We start rapping about D-line stuff. On the same token, I go talk to guys who play DB and play quarterback, and I just sit there and I listen, I learn, man, and just soak it all in. Coach Vaughn is probably a guy that'll never stand back there and coach quarterbacks. But when I was at Colorado State, man, it was always like I was like a kid in a candy shop, man, to just sit there and watch Coach Bobo, just coach quarterbacks, knowing that that's his baby, that's his forte. Maybe he's not the best D-line coach, but I can guarantee you one thing: he is the best quarterback coach. So just seeing guys like that and watch them coaching their forte, that's something that you can learn from going to clinics, man. Because people, when you go clinic, they're gonna give you their best stuff, no matter if there's mindset. If it's a coach that's good on getting kids geared up, getting kids to play hard, he's gonna talk about mindset. If he's a coach and he's the D-line guru, he can teach you how to stop the run, rush the passer. When you go to the clinic, he's going to give you that. He's going to give you that. So I love clinics, man, and I love to clinic, and I love to learn from everyone.
100%.
Speaking of learning, Coach, I want to ask you about a separate piece. I'm pretty sure you're not asked about this a lot, but I thought this was pretty cool to share. You were named Spartan of the Week, Coach. Obviously after a great week, business ed teacher. But I love this quote. Coach Vaughn is a fairly new teacher, but he manages his classroom like a vet. He creates an atmosphere of mutual respect where his entrepreneurship students can comfortably share their ideas for new products and services without the fear of ridicule. Can you please talk about that, Coach, just a little bit? Because I think what you're doing is something fantastic, especially for kids. We didn't have that growing up, entrepreneurship class in high school. Like I did take one in college, but that was later on, just graduated in 2021. Why are you trying to foster that kind of environment just for the kids where they can kind of be almost free thinkers and can hash out their ideas and not, like you said, be ridiculed or made fun of for it?
Oh, man, that's excellent that you even pulled it up, man. Thank you. Thank you. But yes, man, just because I just think about myself when I was in high school, man, and I was a kid who it was football first and school second, and nobody really taught me that, like, Coach Vaughn, you are a business entity in yourself. So how you carry yourself, what you do, you are a business. No matter if you're going to run a business, no matter if someone chooses to hire you, no matter what you do, you are a business entity. So with my kids and entrepreneurship, man, I never shoot down a dream ever. Because I want to make sure that I'm pushing their dreams. Now I'll correct them and say, hey, you can't do it this way. You may have to do this. You need to know the laws of this. You have to know how to start the business with that. But it's just listening to them, man. Listening to them. And like I say all the time, man. When you know everything, you probably need to stop, quit, or retire because the world is changing. Football is changing. Business is changing. So these kids went from, these are really the pandemic kids. So they went from kind of just, sitting at home doing school online, understand that hey, I can make me $80,000 off of TikTok. So what am I going to college to spend $100,000 to make 50 when I'm out? So, you know, it's kind of just teaching those kids about intellectual property and letting them know that, hey, your ideas are money, man. You can go to college and learn how to complete things and be a pro in that avenue. But with business, you know, that's something that's never changing. It'll evolve. Far as like you guys doing with media, things of that nature, but it's not changing. So just breathing life into them and letting them know that, hey man, you're a business entity in your own right. So don't ever think that like there's only one way to do this thing. You know, you don't have to go get your PhD to think you're successful. You know, so don't think that that's the only path.
For sure,
Thank
Coach.
you for bringing that up. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Anytime. And one more point on that before we go, I guess we transition back to football. What is your stance, I guess, on the new kind of era? We have this technology. We're trying to adapt to it. AI is big. We know kids. I don't know if you know this, Coach, but we know kids using that, do their homework and you know, do different things for tests. You know what I'm saying? I won't throw too much in there, but
Right.
what is your stance on the technology component of it that's being ingratiated in business practices and it's taking up a lion's share of what they're doing? Are you for it, against it? What's your thoughts on that?
My thought is, man, I look at it this way. You know, everybody was afraid of the motor and the automobile because they thought it would blow up when you crank it up. You know, they was afraid, so they were saying, "Hey, I want to ride my horse and buggy." You know, I want to ride my horse and buggy. You know, and then everybody was afraid of the electric car because guess what? They're just gonna shut all of them off. I said, man, you have to go with the times, man. You have to go with the times. So AI is here. It's here. I preach to my kids, if you're gonna use AI, make it your own. At any point in time when you're just plugging things in AI and just being generic, it's not yours. It's stolen. But if you're plugging in things in AI and I'm bringing my own ideas with my own personality, with my own background, it's a tool that you use. And Fulton County does a great job of we're starting to integrate AI within the classroom. You know, but just like you said, you know, you have to kind of steer them in the right way. Use AI, but don't forget that you have a brain and it's your idea. So whatever you're using with AI, make sure you're plugging in your own ideas and it's your own.
For sure. Last one. I'm gonna let you go back. Last one. The education piece. I gotta ask this, Coach. Is it still vital to go to school? I'm not talking about high school. I'm talking about college for the kids. You talk about the intellectual property piece of it, how they can make their own money doing this different things. You just talk about AI. In your eyes, this is a personal question. Do you feel like it is worth it with everything going on, the rising costs of college, how expensive it is, $100,000 in debt? What's your stance on that? Or is it better just to start your own business coming out? What do you think?
I think my personal thoughts on that, I think it is based on the individual. Like you said, if you're a young man and you have a scholarship and you go into college, you're just going for a full-time job. You know, you're going to school and you're going to play in some of these P4 conferences and you're making $200,000 a year. Hey man, somebody need to sit you down and let you know, after your 4 years, you may never make that amount ever in your life again. That may be the 4 times out your life you ever make that amount. But I say that to say this. I do think college is valuable if it's affordable. I don't believe in getting in tons of debt. I don't. But I do believe if you can go to college and get your degree, I think it proves something to yourself and it helps you learn how to complete something. Because that's the biggest thing that we struggle with now. It's like, well, I did a task in high school and mom and dad kind of helped me and like they helped me finish it, or I did a test in high school and I made a C or my GPA was dropping. So mom said, hey, let's get out of that class. Where in college, hey, it's all on you. Mom and dad can have their opinion. They can have anything they want to do. But at the end of the day, if you got student loans and no matter what, it's on you. So it helps you and it molds you to complete something. And it gives you that drive to say, hey, I can complete something. So that when you're done, no matter if you're gonna venture into that career field or you're gonna shift into another career field, you know that you'll probably have an edge on others who didn't venture or who didn't have that kind of added determination within them from their parents, and you'll be able to complete the task and get an edge above them. So that's my thoughts on it. I think it depends on the individual.
Yeah, in fact, them classes are already paid for on the college
Yes,
level.
sir. Yes, sir.
I just to go back to what you said about AI, man. I'll listen to the Grits and Eggs podcast. I don't know if anybody in here listen to the Grits and Eggs.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yes, sir. So they was talking about it. I think it might have been the latest episode, but he was talking about how maybe classes. I know it maybe wasn't Grits and Eggs. It was a different one, but in class, right? So we already know the kids are going to use artificial intelligence. So should a class focus on more of a opinionated discussion, like what do y'all think about this, instead of just it being book work? You know what I mean? Say homework for in class and discussion, or say the homework for saying the homework. You know what I'm trying to say. Do you think in class should be more discussion based, pretty much?
Me personally, I think every class should be centered around open-ended discussion, because the cookie cutter mode for academics in general, it doesn't work for everyone. I like to tell everybody all the time, if you knew me in high school, you probably would bet your money that I probably would be walking on the street broke, poor, disgusted. But that model just didn't work for me. But when I went to college and I said, I'm going to major in business, and I get in my business class, and the first question is, what if you could start a business? What business would you start and why? Opposed to, I want you to research all this and answer these questions. So I'm with you. I think it should be geared toward open-ended discussion, and that'll help grow us as a whole. I feel, as a community, even as a nation, man, because we're not all the same. No matter how you draw it up, we're not all the same. I look at everything. I go right back to football. All my players are not the same. Some players, they need Coach Vaughn to yell, to get on them, to be on them all the time. And some players, I can just walk up to and say, "Hey, man, that's not good enough," and it's done. So to view school as being something that just cookie cutter, and like you said, man, it's just look this definition up, or I'm going to have you research this and all the answers are the same. I don't think that's the model. I don't think that's the right way. But what do I know, man? I'm just a football coach, so
More than people probably give credit for sure.
Without a doubt.
So that's how I wanted to ask. I didn't mean to stiff Steve Shine, but
no, it's okay. Nah, you just ask the intellectual questions. It's cool, man. Hey, I like to peel the layers, man. You know what I'm saying? These coaches, they're more than just football coaches, man. They went to school to get their degrees. They have more to give to the world than just football. And I love to obviously peel that back. So, Coach, going back to the football piece of it, you brought up some great points about this program. I want to ask you, obviously, how you're going to develop this program to get it to where you want. But first, let's talk about the feeder part of this thing. Coming down from, youth ball, middle school ball, how do you plan to kind of ingratiate this program in that? Because that is a vital piece for how these programs thrive. The Creeksides, the Graysons, Norcross, anything you can think of. They start from the feeder and they build up. A lot of the kids stay. Some leave, obviously, and go to different schools. But how do you plan to kind of use that to help you develop talent within-house at North Springs?
Oh, well, the biggest thing is, man, the thing about Fulton County is it's such a big county that with the younger kids, K through 5, it's hard to keep tabs on. I'm just being honest. The way youth football is exploding now with media, it's crazy. So they're I hate to say this word, but the youth kids are being recruited too. You have youth kids driving 40 minutes to go play. When I was coming up, you just play for whoever got you on their team when you sign up. So now it's hard to keep tabs on those kids, but the feeder program, we'll have Sandy Springs Middle School practice with us. I'll be hands-on at practice with those guys. So, the terminology will be the same. So you look at some of your successful programs who I give major kudos to, who do it the right way. You look at your Bufords, some of those programs. You look at your Marist. I had a chance. I saw Marist practice, and I'm looking at the field, and I was there for a wrestling meet. But I'm looking at the football field, and I see these kids practicing, and I'm watching, and I keep watching. And these are small kids, but they're running the same offense as the high school. You know, so
yeah.
it's like once you take a kid who's 12 years old, 10 years old, and he's running this offense, and now you have a kid who's 14 years old running this offense, and he's in the ninth grade. He's really not a ninth grader. This kid is probably have the intellect of a senior running the offense because he knows the checks, he knows the adjustments, he knows all these things. So that's the biggest thing right now is making sure that I keep my hand in that middle school. And with our middle school coaches, and knowing that, like, hey, we're gonna run and use the terminology that we use at the high school, so that when you're a freshman, we don't have to put you on the back burner for 2 years because mentally you just don't have the capacity. Especially with my quarterbacks. I've had this conversation all the time. If you think that you're going to transfer in to North Springs and start at quarterback as a junior, you're not. You're not. I'm just telling you, you're not. I think we have an awesome OC. He played at Georgia Tech and finished at Montana and put up big numbers and won tons of games. And when I interviewed him, man, it's crazy. I interviewed him twice, man. I just wanted to make sure. Then I let him. I did, man. I did, and then I actually let him interview Coach Goodrum, man. And Coach Goodrum shot me a text, and he said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. If you don't hire him, I'm gonna hire him." So I knew I had the right guy, man. I knew I had the right guy. So and I tell him every day, man. I don't want you to hold back. Don't worry about Coach Vaughn yelling, being intense. I'm an intense guy. I'm gonna yell if it's a pick six, or I'm gonna yell if we're up by 60. So don't let me hold you back with what you have going. So I want to make sure that our middle school kids understand that, like, once you're coming up, you're not getting coached by anybody. You're not gonna have those adjustments just by anybody. You're gonna have those adjustments to be made by a guy who's played at a high level, who's done it at a high level, who's also been successful at a high level, and a guy who I honestly feel I'll try to have to beg to keep around after next year. I honestly feel that. So just knowing that our middle school guys and that feeder program, Sandy Springs Middle School, that middle school. Learning that terminology and learning what he called things and what's his adjustments and thinking like our OC think to make the game easier for him to call. You're not not going to be able to just transfer in and be a guy to just drop back and make one read and take off running. If you do that, if you're thinking you're going to do that, you're not going to be able to get on the field. I'm sorry. So we want guys from our school. We want our type of guys. We want guys with that be a pro mindset and guys who are going to do it our way. So I know that's kind of extreme case, but that's how I feel like you have to win with the feeder program.
Period. Let me ask you this, Coach. So as you build this program and what you want it to be, what are the key pillars or the key things this program is going to be about? Like some people say toughness, hard work. What are the things you are outlining in these kids that you want North Spring and Spartans to represent?
Being a pro, man. Be a pro. Every step you get, every chance you get, be a pro, man. I talk to them all the time about being a pro. How do you be a pro? You work. Work. People think work is just something you do. No, the work is literally showing up. First, if you could show up, that's the work. It's hard to wake up in the morning at 6 a.m. It's hard to be in class on time. That's the work. Then once you're there, you attack it. You attack it, and you learn how to attack it the right way. Now we'll have to show you how to attack it our way, and then after that, you learn how to lead. First, you lead yourself. You start to lead yourself. And that be a pro mindset. You start to lead, and then you do it together. Once you can lead yourself, then you just bring everybody with you. So work, attack, lead together, man. I stand by that. I tell them to stand by it. That's something that I've been trying to instill in them since I've taken over the job. And that be a pro mindset. Be a pro, no matter what you're doing at the school. I don't care if it's time for you to clean the locker room. You need to clean the locker room so that when someone walks in and they clean the locker room, they say, hey, this is the standard. This is how the locker room should look. Now, on that same token, when you're running that sprint, I don't want you to leave something left in the tank. I want you to run that sprint with that be a pro mindset. The first sprint is the last sprint, okay? The last sprint is the first sprint, I tell my kids all the time, I don't care if you run 5.3 in the 40, just as long as when you're on the field, you show me 5.3 the whole time. I need to see 5.3 speed the whole time. If you run 4.3, you need to look like 4.3 on the field. We have a corner who's going to be a big time player for us, and he got his first Division I offer. And I tell him all the time, man, I say, I watch your film. You're electric, man, but I need to turn on the game and see you electric the whole freaking game. So I think just adapting that be a pro mindset and working and attacking and leading together, man. Those are my pillars.
I love that. One more, I'm gonna throw it back to Bacon. So you talk about Coach Goodrum. I want to go real quick back to college. What were some key lessons you learned there? Not being a student, but you were a coach there as well. I think Southeastern Louisiana. If I'm
You
not
got it.
What did you learn from their coach about just some key things that's prepared you? Because I feel like it's lost, but usually when you can coach at the collegiate level, you can bring a lot of knowledge and intuition to that high school level and really thrive.
I think as a player, man, the first thing I learned from college was compete. You come from high school. If you're not the biggest on the field, you're the fastest. If you're not the fastest, you're the biggest. When you go to college and you stand out there, you look across from you and you see another guy and he's probably 3 inches taller than you, the bench press 100 pounds more than you. It kind of triggers in you like, hey, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. Maybe I'm not. I still can remember, man, my first conditioning test, man, and I had to work out, and I didn't show up that summer, and they were like, we're gonna have a conditioning test with these 110s when you get back, man. I finished the conditioning test, but I can remember getting back to my dorm, sitting in my dorm, man, and I literally was just sitting there, and my roommate came in. He's like, "You all right, Vaughn?" And I said, "Man, I said, maybe I just was a good high school player." I said, "I'm serious, man. Like, do I belong here?" So I think the biggest lesson I learned from college, man, is just learning how to compete, man, and compete and understand, like, if you want to have individual success, you need to have team success. The days are gone from guys, being very, very highly successful on bad teams. You may, and people will point out they'll throw out one name. And now I'll give you 100 names that they had team success and they were mediocre players, and they increased their individual success because of the team success. So just the things I learned from college, man, was basically to compete in the classroom, compete on the field, and also, man, team. That team aspect, man. Even though it was instilled in me in high school, but that team aspect, learning to play as a team, learning that, like, hey, I can't take a play off. I can't. I always tell my defensive guys, especially the D linemen, hey, man, you want to complain about them catching fade balls? How about you get the sack? That'll help them out. How about you get pressure?
Right.
You want to see the best DBs in the country? Go look at that freaking D line. Usually their D line is outstanding. You want to see the best running backs in the country? Go look at their O line. You want to see the best quarterbacks? Go look at their O line and their receivers. So it's just preaching that team success, man, and that's something that I'm bringing in North Springs, and I'm excited, man. We have a great group of kids, man. Great group of kids, man. And I told these guys, man, like, I'm more excited to be a part of what we're building there with them than I can explain.
Valid.
So, Coach, I'm pretty sure me and Nile just saw it, and the viewing audience has saw it on North Springs at this point. But what do you see this team at the end of November? If you look that far, if you want to stay this summer, that's fine too. But what do you see that team?
Playoffs. See us in the playoffs at the end of November. I think that. I don't think I know. I know that we have the talent to be in the playoffs. I know that we have the talent to win a lot of games. I know that we have talent to beat people. I've watched all the games. I've been on huddle constantly, man, rewatching the games, rewatching players. Every kid that started, man, I've watched this kid. If he started at North Spring, I watched every game, every snap this kid was in. And, I watch him and I say, well, what happened? What's the problem? Why haven't they had major success? What's something that I can fix? And, I fixed it. I want to tell y'all, but I fixed it. And so I see us in the playoffs, man, and going out and winning games. You know, it's at the end of the day, it's high school football. It's high school football, man. And you look on the field, and I've recruited Kansas, I've recruited Missouri, I recruited Colorado, I recruited Georgia, I recruited Louisiana. From Louisiana, Georgia, Florida, California, you're going to have probably some of your better athletes. Ohio is another state. You're going to have some of your better athletes. But with all that said, with 22 players on the field in the state of Georgia at any given time, at the most, you'll probably, well, I'm not going to say at the most, but on average, you'll probably have 5 D1 kids running around. So you're telling me all the rest of those kids are just regular high school kids? You know, I think they get lost sometimes because we see some of the schools that win constantly. And it goes back to what you said, the feeder programs, man. You know, these kids are they're literally, they just understand football better. I don't want to use the word coach better, but I just think that they understand football and their football IQ is better. You know, so I kind of dove into that with watching some of the kids on film, and then I brought them in and I asked them some questions. What are you thinking right here? What are you doing? And they're like, I didn't. Okay, now it makes sense. It's not because you're slower. It's not because you're not as strong. It's because your football IQ. So November, man, you know, we'll be in the playoffs, and hopefully, man, you guys can come up there and cover us in the playoffs. You notice I said up in North Fulton for home game, right? So maybe you guys get up there and cover us in the playoffs.
That might get out of trouble. You know, he's a beat writer. I mean, I think you're gonna be fine, Coach. I think the lost art in coaching. Sometimes we forget that just pouring to the kids a lot more is just not. You need to be here. You're not doing it. You know, what I mean, I'm gonna get somebody else to replace you. Is actually taking the time to do that, and I think that's what separates you from a lot of other coaches in the state, if not the nation. So, Coach, thanks again, Coach, for coming on the show. You really made.
Thank you guys, man. Thank you guys.
Here we go. Got a question. What are some players we should watch for next year at North Springs?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What are some players we should watch for next year at North Springs?
We have a linebacker, man, Adonis Timmons, man. If you see him, man, he's a physical specimen. I can remember the kid as a freshman, man, and like he was skinny kid. He'll hit you, super skinny, but he's in the weight room right now, man, putting up crazy numbers. He's 6'2", 220-pound linebacker, has one division offer. We have a corner, Zaire Sykes, freaking workhorse, man, corner kid who we're going to get him the ball a lot more. I believe in, you know, we got to get our athletes the ball, man. You know, kids too fast not to touch the freaking football, you know, and just to play corner and let people throw away from it. So, you know, I always go back to this high school football. You know, I know you guys probably understand it, but I come from the days where, you know, Travis Hunter made it cool to play both ways, but me, I thought that was part of football. I played O-line and D-line, and I was like, that's what I do. You know, so I just got to get these kids away from. Yeah, I just got to get these kids away from thinking they play one side. O-line wise, we have Joseph Victor, man, offensive guard for us, tough kid, hard-nosed kid. He'll remind you of an old school kid. You tell him to run, he's going to run until you tell him to stop. You know, tough kid. Jair Concepcion, all-region kid, first-team all-region kid for us, man. Played O-line last year. Tough kid, wrestled. He reminds me of he reminds me of the kids from back in the day, man. He had a funny conversation that he discussed with me, and he told me, he was like, he wrestled, and I was talking to him, and you know, he told me, I said, what's wrong with you, Jair? He was like, no, Coach, this is my dad. I said, what's wrong with your dad? He said, well, I was wrestling and I just lost and I looked like crap. And my dad told me, you know, if you're not going to do it the right way, then you just need to quit. You're just wasting your time. I'm not coming to see you just to give half effort. So, you know, that kid I love because I know right now Dad's on board. Have a quarterback kid who's actually I think is a better safety. He's going to play safety for us. Miles Miles Jackson, smart kid, man, he actually is going to graduate a year early. Sucks for me, but but he's a kid that's going to play safety for us, man, and really, really a super smart kid. I actually coached his brother at North Springs, and the brother was the same way, super smart kid. So he's going to play some quarterback and safety for us. So if you can hear me talk about these kids, these are kids that, if you go look at the film, these kids only play one way. For majority of the time, So you could call me old school, you can call me whatever you want, but just don't call me a loser.
Yes, sir.
Because we played both ways in high school, and as I can remember, we won the region, I think 3 years straight, and went on to played in the Georgia Dome. So and we played both ways. We had a team of about 80 kids, and you talk about probably 17 of them played both ways. So I'm going to play our best guys, no matter if that's the quarterback playing safety, our corner playing running back. We're going to play our best guys to win a lot of games. But those are just a couple names, man, that you could be on the lookout for. And you guys heard it first. You guys heard it first, and don't be surprised.
So you have last thing, Coach. You move around a lot. You know what I'm saying? Being the collegiate coach, how do you, keep the family, keep your family, locked in and engaged in a loving atmosphere? How you do that?
Well, the biggest thing is, man, football, man. My family love football, man. My wife is a football wife. She loves football. She's all in with football. Her dad was a football player himself. Played at Clark, Georgia Tech. I don't know if you guys ever see me in person, man. I'm 6'4". I'm a little down in weight now. I'm probably 270 pounds, but her dad trumps me, man. He's a big old dude. So it's a football family, man. My mom is a big time football fan. My mom would show up to every game. It's crazy, man. When I was out in Colorado, I look in the stands. I'm looking up in the stands. I see my wife and my mom there. So they're going to be around no matter what. They're all on board, and those are the people I need around me when things don't go as I plan, or when I get frustrated where I have a vision, and then my vision kind of steer off. They kind of tap me on the side of the head and say, "All right, here we go." Put it back in the road. But I have a great support system, man. Just an awesome support system, man. And I can't ask for anything more, man. So I'm thankful, truly thankful. And friends also, man, like Coach Goodrum, guys like that. Coach Reddy, who's also the offensive coordinator at GMC, man. You see Coach Reddy and you see myself, man. You look at us and you would think that, like, we'll never have, anything in common. Coach Reddy is a probably a 5'9" white dude, and I'm a 6'5" black dude, and it's crazy. He's listening to old soul music, and I'm listening to rap music, and we're like best friends, man. And he'll tell you, Walter's my brother from another mother. So guys like that, man, who I talk to all the time, and we have real conversations, and kind of keep each other going.
That's a great story, Coach. I appreciate you for sharing that, Coach. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Coach Walter Baig. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the theme of this show outside of Luqman Baig has been Griffin. The Griffin tree is giving us some bountiful fruits. So this is a special place down in the G, Coach. Thanks again for coming on the show, and we'll look to see you soon, my friend.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you guys, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Definitely.
The first game, Battle of Sandy Springs, we'll play Riverwood High School. That's our rival, man. It'll be a good one.
All right, Coach.
Yes, sir. We'll be by, man. Appreciate you, Coach.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Walter Vaughn, man. Coach Vaughn, appreciate him coming on the show. Let's clap it up for him. Hold on one second. Yes, sir. Let's have Coach Vaughn, man. Shout out to Coach Goodrum, man, out in Griffin, man, hooking us up, giving us some bountiful fruits, as Bacon said. Obviously helping us out. We've seen the same thing with Coach Omar Cooper, who's a basketball coach, helping us out with some things. So shout out to him. He helped us get Coach Gotell. Coach Owens, who's obviously a Griffin coordinator, I believe, over there. He's the one that said we should interview Coach Gotell. So.
Coach Owens, right.
Yes, sir, Coach Owens. So shout out to him too. And Coach Cooper, man, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Look, As we conclude the show, Baig, look, I ain't gonna get you with the topics. We're almost 2 hours and 30 minutes in. I know
Right.
you morning, so we'll hit them another day. I do need you to react next time we get on, though, about the Newton schedule and the Westlake schedule. I already reacted, but we're gonna get that next time we get on here.
Say
And we have
less.
to talk to sports. But I do want to say this, Bacon. Pretty damn good show. 144 views on YouTube. Average view duration of 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Bacon, I don't know if you're able to pull up your numbers, but we're pretty crazy today. Probably the best show I think we've definitely had so far, especially in the off season, especially of the Citizen News Podcast Network. So one of the best shows. What we have on X. X, we had 27. Bacon, you were about 3 or 5 out. I know you're about to reveal your numbers, but did pretty good on my view.
Nah, no doubt, man. This thing is growing. All right, so we got 77 views.
Ooh,
Yeah. 3 minutes 8 seconds.
that's a lot better. Wow.
Yeah.
Mind you, Bacon, we didn't do no promo. All I did, I just sent it to the coaches on where to watch.
Facts. Yeah,
We didn't do no social media posts.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, man, it's big and it's just in its infancy. Like I said, the Just Citizen News or the Citizen News Podcast is a special place. You know, what I mean, we have topics, but we bring our guests on and we let them be real, let them speak their piece, let them tell the story, and that's why I think this separates this platform from any other platform. I mean, nobody else is really doing this niche, but even if it was, you know what I mean, you can't replicate Najee Bacon. Ain't no way, no shape, no how. So
You can't replicate it, man. And look, we got more tricks up our sleeve. Again, we're gonna try to keep it loaded for the off season, man. We know things are about to heat up, so we're gonna try to have guests every single Monday. We're getting more organized. For everybody that watch, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Again, it's the place. We hope you continue to spend your Monday nights at 7:30 every single Monday night, and we will have the fellas back, not just for the season, but we will have the fellas back for the spring, late spring, and the summer. If you liked our crew for the season, me, Bacon, QB Marcus, Coach Julian. That crew will be returning in the spring/summer. So we'll just give you guys that. They want to come back on the show. Right now, they're doing anything with the 707 and everything they got going. They'll come back. So we just want to tell you that. We will have the trash talking, and we hope it's the place you spend your Monday night.
definitely do not want to miss. If you're a first-time viewer, you do not want to miss.
Yes, sir. Luke, hey, coaches, I am a linebacker or inside linebacker that has been top in stat-wise for the past 3 years. I have over 500 total tackles, no looks, no offers, no camp invites. How do I get invited and get noticed class of 2027? I would say, Luke, continue to grind. Send out your film to coaches as much as you can do, Luke. See if your coaches at your school can obviously help you out and continue to pitch. If you have college coaches on campus, when you guys do the spring, definitely try to ball out. Try to create a rapport and a relationship. But obviously, the best bet is to continue to send out your film. See if you can participate in some of these big camps this summer. You know what I'm saying? They got Rivals Camp. I think UA Camp is about to have one in March. There's several big camps obviously coming up. Try to participate as much as you can and get your eyes out there in front of people, man. Whatever it is, prep red zone, just do something to get you a write-up on you, written about. The more exposure you have, the better. And if you have tape, make sure you show your best clips within that first minute because some coaches might not be able to watch past that.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like I said, revisit your huddle film and put those best clips at the front. Get somebody to look over. Second thing for me, hit those. First of all, let us know what state you're in. Let us know what state you're in. If you enjoyed it, we definitely can streamline you. But if you're not in just let us know what state you're in, and then hit mega camps. You know what I mean? There's a lot of small different camps that's going on in your area, or just do your research. Continue to see people that's recruiters, people like us that drop film. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just don't hesitate to just like I said, put your film on there, hit DM coach. You do those things, and tag us. We got your back. We'll get you in. We'll get you out to via that channel on X. But but just keep going, bro. Don't give up for you. So you got one more year, and most definitely a big off season, a big summer to do that. Ask your coaches as well if they know any camps.
Exactly. Well, y'all, that's it for the Sizzling News Podcast. Appreciate everybody tuning in, man. As always, it's gonna do it for today's show. Again, we'll have much more next week, man. But thanks everybody for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe on Bacon Network on Najee Luqman, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Me and him will be live again on Thursday for our hoop show. We're trying to reach out to get big time guests. We reach out to Atlanta Celtics, several AAU top notch programs. So we're trying to get the nitty gritty on the show. But till then, man, it's just sizzling news, and we will see you guys next time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will see you at the end of the week on Thursday.